through the ages. And in college football, no one has more to look back on than the Southeastern Conference. The players: Namath, Spurrier, a man they called Herschel. The coaches: Paul Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, and Johnny Vaught. And the games: Buck Bellew to Lindsey Scott.
Lindsey Scott 35, 40. Lindsey Scott 45, 50, 45, 40. Run, Lindsey, 25, 20, 50, 10, 5. Lindsey Scott, Lindsey Scott, Lindsey Scott.
Patrick Nix to Frank Sanders.
Got it, the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn.
They're all photos permanently etched in the minds of SEC football fans. And today, more memories as South Carolina and Georgia battle between the hedges. Down here where the helmets crackle, Saturday is a holy day of obligation, and SEC football is indeed underway. The Lee SEC Game of the Week on Jefferson Pilot Sports. The Gamecocks of South Carolina taking on the Bulldogs of the University of Georgia. We're live from Sanford Stadium. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Brando, welcoming you to our weekly coverage of the Southeastern Conference on JP Sports. It is indeed an honor to be here. In what other sport does Week 1, Game 1 mean as much? Simply none. And where Ray Goff is concerned, the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, Week 1 could not be more important than this one in 1995, Dave Rowe.
Oh, it's unbelievable, Wick. It's a huge week for them. Here in Georgia, they're saying they want to see significant improvement. And for a lot of Georgia fans, they think that means 8 wins. So Ray Goff's got a lot of pressure on him. And first of all, he's got to replace an unbelievable quarterback. He lost Eric Zier, and with Zier went just an abundance of offense. He rode that arm for 3 years, and now all the pressure falls on Mike Bobo. And you know that South Carolina is going to come up there, and they're going to force Bobo to pass the football. His stats are not that impressive because he played behind Zier.
The Gamecocks have had some of the best fans in all of the South without producing much until last year. Brad Scott in his first season takes his team to the CarQuest Bowl. They come in here believing that they can win, and why not? Their team is anchored offensively by a veteran, Steve Tannehill.
Oh, and what a different Steve Tannehill it is. He's much more mature. He's much more confident. He's just a different quarterback. You have to credit the coaching staff for that. The addition of John Reeves is going to help that. But it's a different Tannehill that comes in here. And who will ever forget 2 years ago, Tim, when he led the team the length of the field and scored with 2 seconds to upset Georgia?
Can the Gamecocks get it done on the road? They have here in the past. And the Georgia fans want their dogs to hunker down. And we will next.
Today's Lee Apparel SEC Game of the Week is brought to you by Lee Apparel. With new styles and colors, you'll like the way you look in Lee, the brand that fits. By the Jefferson Pilot Life Insurance Company, the vision to power your dreams. By CarQuest Auto Parts Stores. For the CarQuest store nearest you, call 1-800-492-PART. By your local Mazda dealers. And by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth.
Welcome back to Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. Our broadcast partner today and all year long, Bob Kessling, with some of Bob's bullets.
Tim, I guess a couple of key things to watch out for from down here, at least. Georgia's defense. They've got a new defensive coordinator, Joe Kynes. He comes here from Arkansas, hoping to bring some intimidation, more pressure, and enthusiasm to this defense. They also switched to a 4-3. From South Carolina's standpoint, they want to carry the momentum from last year on. This team won its first bowl game ever last season. South Carolina fans are very excited about this football team, and today they hope to get off to a good start. Another key for Georgia. They've got to run the ball better this year. They've got a new tailback, Robert Edwards. He was a quarterback, in fact, one of the best on the team, but he's one of the fastest players on the team and one of their best athletes. They put him at tailback, and Tim, they hope to be able to run the ball much better today.
Indeed, when you talk of momentum, the South Carolina Gamecocks fans are here in large number. There you see at the end zone to our left, better than 10,000 are on hand, and they've been there when they were sub 500. Brad Scott is loved in Columbia, and for very good reason. We had some rain last night. It only served to cool things off. You hate to use the cliche, but we will. It's a perfect day for football down here in the SEC. Georgia won the toss,
Carolina, number 98,
and they have elected to receive. You see, kicking off for the Gamecocks, Steve Florio, just a freshman out of Miami Springs. Bryce Hunter is back deep. He is joined by Juan Daniels, number 12. SEC football is underway. A high kick, but it's actually a fair catch taken by Ransom, the tight end, O'Hara Ransom. And it'll be 1st and 10, sort of a pooch variety. It worked well for South Carolina to keep Georgia behind the 20-yard line. Last season, Mike Bobo, 17 of 27, but coming off an excellent performance in the final game against Georgia Tech. It is that confidence that Ray Goff hopes will be the key for his club, and Bryce Hunter's the one to watch.
Bryce Hunter's the one that's got to get open early. He had 59 catches last year. Bobo's got to find him.
And some motion coming from Hunter. Toss sweep. Edwards, not much. In fact, he may have lost a yard. Robert Smith, the defensive end, coming over to make the stop. And let's take a look at the starting lineup behind Bobo. The converted Edwards, as Kessling mentioned a few moments ago. Juan Daniels and Larry Brown, an unproven tight end. This is an offensive line, though, that believes it has an advantage against a smallish South Carolina defensive front that averages 240 pounds per man. And a quick hit right up the middle. Robert Edwards again, this time above the 20 to the 21, and Ronnie Smith, the inside backer, made the stop. There's that smallish defensive front, but they're very high on Hank Campbell. He'll call the signals, the team captain of South Carolina's defense. The secondary, they're very capable. Terry Cousin, the best cover man of that group, the cornerback, number 5. 3rd down and 8. Out of the shotgun. Quick out, incomplete. Intended for Daniels, the split end. Chris Abrams was over to provide coverage, number 28 for South Carolina, the junior out of Waynesboro, Georgia.
Boy, and that's not what you want to do. Come out here the first series, you got a brand new quarterback. You want to get him some confidence. Dump those short passes. They tried to establish the running game. It didn't go anywhere, and the pressure starts to mount on Mike Bobo.
A punt formation. Dax Langley will handle it, number 2 for Georgia. And Daryl Nicklow is back deep. A high punt, good hang time. Nicklow at his 28, angling for the boundary. Covered there by Derek Smith, the senior, number 57. 1st and 10 now for South Carolina. And there is Steve Tannehill. What a remarkable career he has had since coming over. When he played for Sparky Woods, he had the locks. He got rid of them when Brad Scott came to town. And Brad told us yesterday, the head coach of the Gamecocks, that when he got into Columbia, the first thing Tannehill said was, what do I need to do, coach? What do I need to do to be a winner? They'll operate without benefit of the huddle most of the day. High formation. Pritchett stacked up behind the line. That 4-man defensive front coming forward in a hurry. Philip Daniels making the stop. Behind Tannehill, noteworthy, Stanley Pritchett has moved to tailback at 240 pounds. They'd like to get him in passing routes more often. Zola Davis, a dangerous receiver, and up front, the offensive line. The only youthful member of that group is Paul Beckwith, the sophomore center. 2nd down and 14 after the 4-yard loss.
Tim, every time you see a shotgun formation, you always think of quick play, but it's really not a quick play.
Tannehill, complete. Over the middle to the 37-yard line to Monty Means. Defensively, the Dogs look this way. Philip Benton coming in. He had been injured, a little nicked up, but he is out there. Travis Stroud, the nose, is well worth watching. Armin Love is a strong safety. He's a hitman. Corey Johnson anchors that group for Randall Godfrey, who is the career leader among tacklers for this Bulldog defense. Play fake. Nice pass, complete. Pritchett. As we mentioned, they moved him to tail so they could make him a receiver. First down, South Carolina.
And what a play fake in the line that time. From a shotgun formation, about the only handoff that you can give is that underneath draw play. They fake the underneath draw play. Now watch the linebackers come in there. They bite hard on the fake. Now he pops out of the backfield. Now it's just a race down the sideline trying to get him. An excellent call. Everybody reacting to that quick run formation up front.
They ruled him out of bounds at the 32-yard line. First and 10. Pritchett in the backfield. Quick pitch to him off the left side. Makes a cut, but he's tackled in a hurry by Greg Bright, number 45, the outside linebacker.
And Tim, again, that no-huddle offense, they keep on going that no-huddle offense. It's not to speed up the game. What they like to do is they like to bring Tannehill up on the line and then let him look and see what the defense is doing. Good movement there along the backer, staying square, cut him off, made him cut back inside to where the pursuit was.
Bright out of Moultrie, Georgia, same hometown as the head coach, Ray Goff. Second and 9. Tannehill, flushed out. Almost picked off. Travis Stroud got a hand on it as Tannehill was trying to maneuver his receivers, and the ad-lib job nearly turned into a turnover.
Oh, it kind of hit a defensive lineman in a bad place, the hands. But watch Stroud go across, number 66. Good position right there. Stay square. Don't let the quarterback turn up. Now, when he turns back and tries to dump it, hit Stroud right in that left hand. Stroud just goes, and so does Tannehill.
Third down and 9. One setback. 4 wide receivers in now for Brad Scott's team. Incomplete. Means the intended receiver.
Boy, and this is a tough down situation. You're inside the 30-yard line. You want to keep that drive alive. You don't want to give up that momentum. Do you kick it? Do you go for it?
Brad Scott, 11 years under Bobby Bowden, and in his first year as a head coach, went 6-5, claimed the CarQuest bid, and knocked off West Virginia. And they are going to play field position, it would appear.
Well, it looks like I thought it was a field goal. So quite a wind.
There is quite a wind. About 10 miles to 15 miles per hour gusting. And it'll be Reed Morton setting it up at the 38-yard line. A 48-yard attempt. Slide angle right. It is wide and no good. And the new look Dogs are doing fine, thank you, on the defensive end as they stop the drive after what had been a very big play to Pritchett.
Yeah.
We are scoreless, and the Dogs will have it on their own 31. SEC football is here.
And that's what they had to do. Give the ball back to Mike Bobo.
This is a Georgia team that's trying to become more balanced, and it's 1st and 10, their second series, at their own 31. Edwards bounces outside. Now watch the speed as he turns the corner. And he almost had that opportunity. Ron Neely coming up along with Ben Washington, the left corner and strong safety. Edwards has tremendous speed, closing speed for a corner, and the kind of speed to beat a corner if he's a running back.
Well, he knows he's got that corner inside on this play. Now just bounce it out and watch the foot race with the corner. There he is coming up. He's not going to catch him. Safety has to come over and help. 4.27 in the 40-yard dash.
That is amazing. You have to go back to Willie Gault at Tennessee to find those kinds of numbers. Delay handoff, and he's met. They fooled no one that time. Henry Taylor, the first to get there. This is the guy that's most likely to be double-teamed, Henry Taylor. He's aided by Robert Smith, number 44, the sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina.
And look at Aubrey Brooks. He's on just a mission to get in there. Penetration. One of the things that Georgia is doing is they're running delay plays. They're not quick hitting plays. They're running like that sprint draw type of action, and they're really just not getting up into the line quickly.
Wally Burnham, the defensive coordinator, told us the thing you have to stop with Georgia: sprint draw, toss sweep, and the fullback belly sweep. 2nd and 13. Look out, incomplete pass was low. Poor throw by Bobo, intended for Edwards. You have to know Mike Bobo is feeling it coming into this game, because despite what he did against Georgia Tech, that was the second half of the game they had well in hand.
There is no comparison, Tim, to coming in and mopping up as comparing to starting. And that's what he has to do. He has to get a little bit, take that deep breath, get a couple completions in there, get his confidence back, get that rhythm back.
On 3rd and long, Hines Ward is coming to the game. 3 wideouts for Georgia out of the shotgun. Complete. Daniels. First down. Bulldogs at the 34 of South Carolina.
Now that's the kind of play that he needs for confidence. That quick crossing pattern. You'll see him. He'll have a little bit more bounce when he comes into the huddle now. But a good crossing pattern, an excellent throw. Right straight across the middle, just right down the seam.
26 yards the pass completion. That should help the confidence of Bobo. Ball rests on the left hash at the 34 of South Carolina. Marseille Simpson is in the slot, number 43 for the Bulldogs. Play fake. Out pattern. Simpson has it and stumbles near the line of scrimmage. Ronnie Smith, young man out of Athens and Cedar Shoals High School, was there to make certain that he went no further. That is spelled as if it is Marissa.
I know it, no.
But it's Marseille.
It's Marseille.
Ray Goff. He told us yesterday, with respect to the term significant improvement, if you look up Webster's dictionary, my picture's there.
Absolutely. What a fun guy to talk to, though. Just one of the great coaches.
2nd down and 10. Quick pitch. Edwards shakes one tackler and gets about 4 more with a marker down in the Georgia backfield.
Oh, and where that flag is thrown, it is almost always that onside hold where that guard's trying to reach out and get that outside tackle.
It is a hold against Georgia. Mac Gentry, the veteran referee, an outstanding crew, flying in from Knoxville last night. That's the rest of his crew, and we should mention the celebration rule has been changed somewhat, altered the prayer rule after the litigation from Liberty Baptist. They will allow a knee briefly in the end zone, but any prolonged action which casts attention to oneself will bring the 15-yard penalty.
Was I kind of quiet and subdued on that last night? I am so glad to see that rule.
The intent of the rule is outstanding.
Yes.
There are some gray areas. 2nd and 25. Bobo, straight drop. Finds Edwards, who can't come up with it. Perhaps he felt the linebacker closing in a hurry. Shane Burnham, 52, was one of them. Robert Smith, the other. Shane Burnham is the son of the defensive coordinator, Wally Burnham, who once coached at Florida State with Wayne McDuffie.
Now watch this pocket collapse. See, the quarterback can't step up. When a quarterback starts to do that slide to the side, he takes his eyes off downfield. He's trying to find a little bit of a seam. You've got to protect strong in that middle.
There's Wally Burnham. While coaching circles are small, he and Wayne McDuffie, the offensive coordinator from Georgia, go way back to their time in Tallahassee. Down the middle and incomplete. Intended for Bryce Hunter. Pass a bit overthrown, but I like the action of Bobo in that series.
Yeah, it was a good series for him. He got a little bit of confidence on that long one. The penalty really hurt him. Again, he's going a lot of seam passes, trying to get that one-on-one, break the seam of that zone defense back there. It's a well-thrown ball. You can see how quickly, but watch the center come in there. That center could have destroyed him if he had caught that football.
Langley to punt it away from his own 44. Nicklow back deep and a high punt. And it hits like a 9-iron. A little Greg Norman backup on that one. Job well done by Langley. And poor field position for South Carolina. When we come back after this word from your local SEC station. Mississippi State up to top 10 level. He's been in the top 25. And the Jerry DiNardo era, week 2, next week, September 9th. Make your plans to be with us at 12:30 Eastern time for our Lee SEC Game of the Week. South Carolina begins at their own 8. Pritchett out to the 15, maybe even the 17, a 9-yard gain. Armin Love, the strong safety. Philip Benton, the buck linebacker, making the stop. More of a defensive end now in this 4-3 set is Benton.
And Tim, it's interesting to watch Tannehill after the play. He walks over, says to the coach, we got about 2 yards to go, coach. The coach signals into him. He has really got a great command of this football game. That's the thing that's amazing to me. I remember the locks, the antics, the celebrations, the things like that, the almost aloneness. Now he's a leader.
2nd and a yard. Right straight up the middle with Pritchett. He moves back into almost a fullback position with Marshall, the Mike linebacker, making the stop.
Yeah, good pressure up in the middle. Good keeping those legs going. A lot of drive with that leg strength. Coaches call that yards after contact. What do you do after you're hit? You fall down, you fall forward.
Jason Lawson is the up back. Pritchett out of the eye, following his lead of Lawson with a marker down at the 23-yard line. Randall Godfrey again coming over to make the tackle. Randall Godfrey made an excellent point yesterday in talking about the differences. We're going to check the flag here. Preliminary indication is that it's South Carolina.
Illegal formation. Only had 6 linemen. 5-yard penalty. Previous spot. First down.
Let's go down to Bob Kessling.
One thing Joe Kynes did when he took over the job, he looked at the practice reports from last year. How many days these Georgia players missed practice because nicks and bruises, and it was really more than any other SEC team. So he urged his team that good players don't miss practice. And now this year, for example, Randall Godfrey has not missed a single practice so far this year.
Yeah, and Godfrey really loves the attack style rather than the read and react, which Marion Campbell prescribed. 1st and 15. Puts it again. Up to about the 17-yard line. Keith Drayton, the nose, number 99, making the stop for Georgia.
Just a word about Godfrey. It's interesting. He came in about 15 pounds lighter. They're saying he's lighter, faster, and quicker to the football, and he's stronger. That's a big factor. I mean, how do you lose 15 pounds and gain strength?
A mean, lean tackling machine. 3 wideouts for South Carolina. Out of the shotgun with Tannehill. 2nd and 13. Swings it out to Pritchett. Good block up front. And he's out to the 25-yard line. Number 75 came out to make a block that was key to that play for South Carolina. Randy Wheeler, the tackle, to help spring the 5-yard pickup.
And you see Watts there, 58. He was on the rush. He ran in there, saw the little swing pass dump off. He turned and ran back and made that tackle about 10 yards downfield. That was a great play by Watts.
3rd and 5. And the Dogs fans are on their feet. Blitz. Tannehill with time. Now he goes down. And it is the free safety, Kirby Smart, that was blitzing through that finally got him. But in many respects, that was a coverage sack.
That certainly was. Smart came from all the way on the outside. You'll see him at the top of your screen. He's the top man now. He gets blocked here, doesn't quit, keeps those feet going, and look, gets the hand on Tannehill. I almost thought he was going to go up and get the celebration when he got up, but he got up and turned to his teammates.
Derwin Jeffcoat will punt it away. Just over 38 yards per punt. He'll get it off at about his 9-yard line. Chris McCraney back deep. McCraney at the 45. Down the sideline. McCraney to the 15-yard line.
Tim, back when we played, they called it the old picket fence, where all the blockers get on one side. Look at all the red shirts. 5, 6, 7, 8 red shirts. They're all up and down the sideline. Everybody had to know that ball was going there. A line drive short punt gave McCraney time to pick up that wall of blockers.
41-yard punt return for Chris McCraney. 1st and 10 now for Bobo. They mark it at the 14. win this game. Georgia will not be able to run. This is not just a straight 4-3. Quinn Brody made the tackle. Different looks coming from Wally Burnham's defense.
Oh, excellent defense. Shoot a linebacker through. You saw that time, you saw Brody shoot through. Number 99, watch how quickly, boom, he's got a hand on him. Boy, that's the sign of a great defensive lineman. When you get a hand on him, you don't let go of him.
2nd down and 13. This is an area of the field where Georgia had difficulty last year. In the red zone. Edwards again. Nice move inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
Boy, Tim, you almost get the feeling that Georgia is going to establish the run no matter what. I mean, there's a 2nd down, about 13 yards to go. He picks up 5 yards, but it's a sprint draw, slow developing play. Good movement here by the back, picking up a couple blocks to pick up that 5-6 yards, but it's going to bring up 3rd down, about 9.
You know, we've heard comparisons to Garrison Hurst on that particular run. I saw a little.
It looked like it, didn't it?
Yep. Stop, start, and swerve. 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun. Time. Daniels wide open. Touchdown.
Georgia really went into an interesting formation that time. They were triple left. They ran him across, and nobody went with him. Watch how wide open he is. He makes a great catch out of that ball, but there was nobody within 5-6 yards of him. Watch Bobo's expression. Wow, look how wide open he is. But a broken coverage. The corner and the safety came strong side with the 2 backs.
Shannon Parkman's extra point is good, and we've got a marker down. We do have a flag down. We do have a marker down. You see the time remaining, 3:30. And we'll wait and see. It appears to be against South Carolina because they're talking with Georgia.
Yeah, the decision here is if it's half the distance to the goal, you go for 2. And it's a personal foul.
Yeah. See,
Personal foul against the defense. It'll be enforced on the kickoff, 15 yards.
So, with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining opening period, off a 41-yard punt return by McCraney, Goff's Dogs cash in for 7. Back after this message from CarQuest Auto Parts. 3:30 remaining opening period, along with Dave Rowe and Bob Kessling, Tim Brando. Cannon Parkman to kick off. Deuce Staley is back deep, along with Terry Cousin. It will be Staley. Cousin lobbies him right into a touchdown. Scoring drive for Georgia, a quick striking drive after the punt return by McCraney. Juan Daniels on the receiving end of a 13-yard strike. 1 minute and 26 seconds off the clock on a 3-play, 14-yard drive.
Well, but Tim, you talk about momentum, you talk about that confidence. Mike Bobo really needed that drive. He needed to complete a couple passes, get his confidence back a little bit.
Tannehill, 3 for 5, 49 yards. But he's been given some different looks from Joe Kynes' defense, and it has been unsettling on him. Deuce Staley is now the I-back. Pritchett playing with some bruised ribs, we're told. Still in the game. That pass is complete out to the 33-yard line to Daryl Nicklow.
Boy, now there's a fella that doesn't have any problem with confidence. You can just see the way he walks up there on the line of scrimmage, takes control. His linemen give him good time to stand back there. See, he's got a pocket to step up in. He delivers the ball. That's a tough pass on that out pattern because there's not a whole lot of crown in this field.
Young man from Arcadia, Florida, Daryl Nicklow. Play fake. Tannehill. Crossing pattern, and what a hammer job at the 45-yard line. Zola Davis, the intended receiver. Corey Johnson put a head on it.
When you're running that crossing pattern, you don't want that ball high. And watch this, when he goes up for it, the safety's coming back across. Bam! That's a good solid hit.
Take that for your midriff, huh? Corey Johnson with a big hit. He's the spark plug of that defense. Screen to Pritchett. Gets away from one tackler. not away from the linebacker. It was Whit Marshall, the Mike linebacker, his third tackle of the game. He was able to dance away from Buster Owens, the cornerback. Pritchett at 240 has tremendous moves. His feet awfully quick. One other game taking place in the state of Georgia. George O'Leary's debut going well at Grant Field at Bobby Dodd Stadium, 21-0. 3rd and 7. 4 wide receivers in the game. 3 at the top of your screen. Tannehill. Caught, and that is a great catch at the 41-yard line off a tipped ball from Greg Bright. Stanley Pritchett brought it in.
And it's going to be close. What an excellent concentration there. Pritchett looks back. The ball actually bobbled on his hands. He just had the concentration to look the ball back, but watch again. The ball a little bit behind him. Tannehill really doesn't deliver. Just kind of pops over. But look at that catch. Good concentration. You see the eyes back on it. Now when he falls down, the official marks it right on the spot. And it's going to be close. Ooh.
Very close.
Oh boy, do you do it now? Do you go for it? 4th down, 1. You're on your own 40-yard line. Your team has just been scored upon.
I tell you, knowing Brad Scott and his roots under Bobby Bowden, you cannot rule it out. You absolutely cannot rule it out. If he wants to play field position, but I think there's an air of confidence now within this program. Hey, we're not going to come here and compete. We're going to come in here and win.
Now watch out he doesn't try to draw him off sides with that voice inflection.
Tannehill. He do the honors himself, and it appears that he does have the first down.
Boy, big line surge there that time. Got behind big Luther Dixon, 285, 6'5", driving off that line. Dexter, those are big men.
It is the first down. See, that's a statement from a program on the rise. Brad Scott just made a statement about his program, where he feels it is in his 2nd year.
Look at those offensive linemen. Just get down there, scramble as hard as you can. He didn't fall far. He didn't make it by a whole lot. But you're right, it is a statement.
1st and 10. Ball at the 43-yard line. Staley in for Pritchett. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Greg Bright coming over to make the tackle. Around the SEC is presented by Morgan Keegan, the South's premier investment firm. There you see the games this week. Toughie for Jerry DiNardo in College Station. Stephen Davis, last year's leading rusher, considered by many a front runner for the Heisman, and with that early schedule, he could have a few 200-yard plus games very early this year. Tannehill rolling right. Incomplete, intended for Monty Means at the 36-yard line of Georgia.
Boy, Tannehill did not just bounce up. In fact, he's limping. I think Tannehill's limping on that play. Again, a rollout strong side. What you're trying to do there is get outside the pressure, get that big lineman out there. But when Tannehill went down, he may have twisted an ankle. He stayed down on the field for a couple seconds. Then when he popped up, he kind of limped coming back to the huddle. You can see him kind of bouncing on it, making sure that's stable.
Tannehill's team is 0 for 3 in 3rd down situations so far today. This is 3rd and 10. Here comes the blitz again. Nice read.
What a play by Tannehill. He knows that safety's coming in him. He sees Kirby Smart come up on the line just before the snap, and he knows he's going to get drilled. He's going to see it's going to be from the left of your screen, the safety coming in there. Look at him right there. I know I'm going to get hit. And he just delivers a perfect strike. That's just a perfect football.
Zola Davis makes the reception, and a key 1st down and 3rd down conversion for Tannehill. Davis has the best hands on this team, but he's stepping up in class. This is his first game. He's a redshirt freshman out of Charleston, South Carolina. Play fake, Tannehill. Over to Deuce Staley. Look out when he gets loose. To the 27-yard line, and a marker comes down. We might have a late hit.
10 yards he got after he got hit on the line.
That was the book on this Georgia defense last year. They were poor tacklers along their perimeter.
Yeah, Marshall should have had him for about a 4-yard gain, but instead he picks up 15 yards.
Flag on the play.
Personal foul against the offense. 15 yards from the end of the run.
The late hit came from South Carolina.
That's one of those offensive linemen or one of those receivers going downfield trying to get a late block. And look at this little dump pass right here. Now, right there, he should have been tackled. No, there's 5 yards, there's 10 yards, and you see coming in. Well, I didn't really see the late
there
hit.
It is. There it is. 53 coming through. Yep.
Just trying to get a late little pop.
Beckwith, the sophomore. He's really the only young player along that offensive front, and that was a young mistake. He really made no contact, but there was intent.
Yes, there was. You know, an interesting thing, they said he didn't have a good spring. Said he just didn't play well in the spring, but he really committed himself over the summer and came back and had an outstanding fall, and that's why he started.
We have a conversation underway among the crew. I'm sure they're trying to determine exactly where they should spot the ball, the point of the foul.
That's what I was thinking.
We will penalize and then set the change. Be 1st and 10.
Yeah, exactly. It'll still be 1st and 10.
The dead ball foul, of course, is the play had stopped, then the contact was made, so it's a 1st down and that yardage, and then it's a dead ball foul from that spot back 15 yards.
These officials this year, you look at the coordinators for South Carolina, John Eason heading that staff. That's John Reeves to the left of your screen in his first year as a quarterbacks coach. He's really helped Steve Tannehill, particularly in his footwork and in the fundamentals.
And boy, did he come from a program coming out of Florida.
Did he ever. Nearing the end of the first quarter, only seconds remaining. Staley to the 35. And ushered out of bounds at the Georgia 32-yard line. The corner, Buster Owens, comes up to make the tackle.
Good block that time by Lawson to get out in front, lead that play to pick up that yardage. Again, coming down the line, you'll see him pick up Lawson, 41. Look, he almost puts a hand on him and says, get him. Look, put right there, get him. I can get the yardage, and picks up enough for the 1st down.
3 seconds remaining in the opening period. This will no doubt be the last play. It rests at the 31-yard line of Georgia. Bulldogs lead it. Juan Daniels on a 13-yard reception from Mike Bobo. Tannehill to Staley. 1st down inside the Georgia 15 into the 12. And that's the end of the first quarter. This one is designed to go down to the wire. Two teams trying to make hay in the SEC opening week. We'll be back. Gamecocks in the midst of an 11-play drive. The 5th play of this drive was a 4th down quarterback sneak from the South Carolina 44. Tannehill has never passed for less than 50% completion rate while under Brad Scott as head coach in any game. Out into the end zone, incomplete. He had 2 receivers there, Monty Means and Daryl Nicklow. Both were in the right corner of that end zone.
Oh, and that ball, Nicklow had that ball. He was zeroing in on it, and it got tipped right in front of his hands.
Let's take a look at our Lee first quarter stats. This has been a game of field position won by Georgia. If you look at passing yards, South Carolina's got them, most of those coming in this particular drive. It's now ending here in the early portion of the second quarter. But Georgia has won field position in the all-important takeaway. Nothing doing on the ground against Georgia. Pritchett, who's been in and out of the game, suffering during the course of it. Bob Kessling has more.
Pritchett was covering that punt returned by McCraney. He hurt his ribs on it, took a shot to the ribs. They're watching it very carefully. Interesting thing for South Carolina, they play their starters on their special teams. Sometimes that comes up with injuries.
Yeah, but that began, Bob, with Lou Holtz when he got to Notre Dame. He had the courage to put his best players on special teams, and everyone suddenly decided to follow suit. 4 wide receivers. Tannehill. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Zola Davis.
Boy, did you see the time that the offensive line gave Tannehill to look downfield? He came off his primary receiver, went to a secondary receiver, went away to him, and it came back. Again, watch the penetration. There is none. Stuck on the line. Step up, find that secondary receiver, and he's wide open in the end zone.
Tannehill on this drive, 7 of 10, 84 yards on this drive alone. That's his 33rd career touchdown pass.
You know, in talking with Brad Scott, one of the great things he said yesterday about Tannehill was when he came in there, he said, Tannehill came to him and said, I just want to win, coach. I don't care what it takes. I just want to win.
Well, he's tied at this point, and we are at 7-7. Early moments of the second quarter between the hedges. The very hedges that have been here for 60 years, but they'll be taken out, so the soccer venue in the upcoming Olympics will take place here at Sanford Stadium. And sharing the Olympic ideal, of course, Billy Payne played for Vince Dooley, the head coach and now athletics director here. Vince told us that not to worry, some of the fresh hedges have been taken to greenhouses in Thompson, Georgia, and an undisclosed
secret
location
places. That's
in
right.
Florida. Back deep, Hunter. Bryce Hunter up to the 26-yard line where he's finally wrestled down. They will be bringing those hedges, those fresh hedges, back in time for next season. We should add to close out that story. Here's Mike Bobo, and you have to know where Georgia is concerned. Mike Bobo and this offense must now answer Tannehill's drive, because that was a picture-perfect drive from South Carolina.
Absolutely. He needs to have that confidence. He got it on that one touchdown pass that really helped him. You see he's got a little bit more bounce to him. Needs to take control in here.
That was a 14-play, 80-yard drive for him. Out of the I formation. Edwards off the right side. Near a first down. Terry Cousin made the tackle. Mike Bobo ended the season last year with a strong performance against Tech, and he said that went a long way in preparing him for this year.
When I got in that game and threw my first pass, I kind of realized it was just like playing football in high school. I got back to my old habits and just old ways of playing football, and I think it also gave teammates some confidence in me and the coaches.
It had to help him, and when you're following an Eric Zier, a guy that knew this game inside out, you'll see he's just shy of the first down. Only a few inches. You know, you're being tutored by the best.
Oh, yeah. And Zier was that. Zier was a fantastic quarterback. And people say, well, he's got a lot of confidence. He can come in. But there's nothing like starting. You look at this crowd here. You walk out of that stadium door, and all of a sudden you realize all that importance is on you.
Robert Edwards, 21 yards on 7 carries, and he'll get it again. Oh, look at him weave. You know, those are hard-fought yards. He's up to the 40, maybe the 41. And that's a first down.
Well, one thing I like about Edwards is the balance. You saw it on that last play. He stumbled at about 5 yards and then made it about 6, 7 more yards. This time here, he just kind of burst through there. Now watch the balance he has. Find a hole, good vision in the hold. Start up speed again. Keep those feet churning. Pick up that positive yardage.
Recruited as a receiver, moved to corner, and now a tailback with great prospects. They roll Bobo to the left. Hunter near another first down at the Gamecock 49-yard line. Ben Washington, the strong safety out of Tallahassee's Lincoln High School, the sophomore, made the stop.
And Tim, you get a feeling that this Georgia offense is starting to take to the leadership of Mike Bobo, because all of a sudden he's doing little rollouts. There's a lot more confidence. His line's giving him a little bit more time. Things are just starting to roll around.
Edwards spinning. Down behind the line of scrimmage. Georgia is making their point to get Edwards involved, and if South Carolina is going to stuff them with a 9-man line, so be it.
That's right.
But again, another loss on the play. Brad Scott's defensive front may be slight of size, but they are not short on speed. These guys are very quick and can move down the line laterally.
It really hurt him when they lost Eric Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a good football player.
He will be able to practice on September the 4th. He has now gotten a clearance from his arrhythmia, a cardiac problem. Straight drop from Bobo. Quick out pattern, incomplete. Marseille Simpson didn't come up with it. And it'll be 3rd and long.
Now, one of the things that Bobo's doing is a lot of running out of the backfield, trying to get one-on-one situations. He's under pressure, and you have to deliver that ball fast. You see here that line is going to just give him just a couple seconds to watch. Quick, get rid of it. There's pressure. But he's doing that out pattern, and that's a tough pass to catch, especially if it's low. I'd like to see him do a little bit more of that crossing pattern.
2 for 4 in 3rd down conversions. This is 3rd and 14. Hines Ward is coming to the game, flanked to the top of your screen. Very dangerous receiver. Bobo. Over the middle, incomplete. They're waiting for a flag, will get none. Bryce Hunter, the intended receiver, had hit the deck. He came up asking for the flag and didn't get it. 4th down and a punt formation for Georgia. Langley hit one punt that helped solidify Georgia's field position advantage in the first quarter. Putting it down at the 8-yard line.
And what you want your punter in this situation to do is cut the field off. Punt to the far corner and don't allow that receiver to have a lot of room.
Fair catch for Nicklo. Look at that. Look at that. But it did cross the plane. It will be a touchback.
I thought he threw his helmet down, his flag down and to mark it, but evidently he said it went through the plane.
All it has to do is cross the plane. Once the ball crosses the plane of the goal line, it is a touchback.
Yeah, that was Alandis Sims that did that play. Almost downed it on the 1-yard line.
So it's South Carolina's ball at the 20, and Coach Brad Scott told us why he decided to make that move of Pritchett from fullback to tailback.
I've been studying this I formation for years, and they ain't but so many places you can get that ball at fullback. I think I got me a good one. I wanted to get him in a place where I could put that ball in his hand about 20 times. Let him catch about 8 to 10 passes a game. And I always heard, that it's not the plays, it's the players that, make you successful.
Pritchett got it there, and he picks up about 4. If you close your eyes,
I know what you're going to say.
Do you hear Bobby Bowden?
Sounds
so if you just close your eyes and you listen to Brad Scott.
Well, it's hard to be 11 years under a man and not think a lot like him.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you can hear just Bobby just going, well, now let me tell you.
Absolutely. One of the most enjoyable men in the business. 2nd and 6. High set behind Tannehill. Pritchett dots it and gets it and is hammered up front. Brendan Tolbert, the Sam linebacker, out of Villa Rica, Georgia, just a little southwest of Atlanta.
And this is what you want your linebacker to do. Step up, get your head down in there, bam. Don't let him fall forward. Hold on, wait for help. Tolbert's only 218 pounds.
3rd down and 7 for South Carolina. These two teams have won on one another's turf each of the last 4 years. And they have been wire games. 4 wideouts for Tannehill. Motion. Quick slant to Means, and he carries the defender with him close to a 1st down. Armin Love got a bulldog ride.
Well, I think Love knew exactly how far he had to go for that 1st down, because watch on the crossing pattern. You'll see Love, number 9, excuse me. Watch this. Pull him down. Don't let him get that extra yard.
It's a 4th down situation. And a punt formation coming for Derwin Jeffco. He kicked that line driver to Chris McCraney that was returned 41 yards in the first period that led to the touchdown for Georgia. It was only 37 yards, but again, the trajectory quite low. Georgia could get good field position again. McCraney on the move. Nothing doing this time as the Gamecocks get down there defensively. Ben Washington, the defensive back, makes the stop.
Now, Tim, I know those plays go unnoticed, but that is a big play. Catch that ball and run. Don't allow the return.
Uga ready to watch some offense when we come back. The most powerful conference in college football. SEC 95 underway, the Lee SEC Game of the Week, along with Dave Rowe and Bob Kessling, Tim Brando. Between the hedges in Athens, 9:49 remaining in the 2nd period. Robert Edwards out of the game. He cut his arm. He will be back. now back in the game. So they did match him up, didn't they? Off the left side, markers down. Could be a block behind the back by Hines Ward, number 19. Ray Goff already giving him a bit of lip from the sidelines. I think Hines knew right away he was guilty.
Well, I remember my coach used to say, if you can read his name, don't block him, because the names are on the back of the jersey.
Block in the back. 10 yards from the smaller foul. First down.
Hines Ward has been the third wide receiver most of this day. Could see some time at the tailback spot to spell Edwards. Very versatile athlete. Ray Goff says he'd be a great quarterback. In fact, offensive coordinator Wayne McDuffie says if he didn't envision himself as such a versatile athlete, we'd love to have him at quarterback in our future. Setback split. It's 1st and 25 now for the Dogs. Just outside their 25. Three-step drop and a dump. That's Bowie, Larry Bowie, with the ball for the first time and out to the 36-yard line.
And what a heads-up call there by Mike Bobo. Don't try to pick up. A lot of young quarterbacks will try to force that ball when you see those yard markers 25 yards away. He doesn't. He's trying to pick up about 8 or 9 yards on this down. Just drops it off here. Pick up one of those big linemen out there. You see Troy Stark out in front of him. Picks up 8, 9 yards. Now it's 2nd down. Maybe about 14 yards to go.
Hank Campbell, the 5th-year senior out of Charleston, South Carolina, made the stop. You see Bobo's numbers. 5 of 11, 61 yards, no interceptions, and a touchdown. Complete at the 46-yard line to Hines Ward. The aforementioned versatility running the out route.
Tim, one of the things that really helped Mike Bobo that time was no pressure. His offensive line gave him great time. This is triple coverage to the top, and what they do is they run them deep, and they come out on a slant pattern out. Watch right there, slant pattern, get that separation, turn the defensive back around, and a perfect strike by Bobo.
Straight eye now behind Bobo. Changing the play, it appears, and rolling left. Markers down, complete. That's Hunter. Bryce Hunter stopped at the 41-yard line. Anytime you make that adjustment at the line of scrimmage, there are times, particularly early, when there's some miscommunication with your lineman.
Well, I'll tell you, that last play, that last series really has impressed me, because for a young quarterback to come out there, that's the illegal motion, but for a young quarterback to come out there and face 1st down at 25 yards, and don't panic. Keep composure, look downfield, stay with your game plan.
Bob Kessling has more on Robert Edwards' health.
Yeah, he got kind of a nasty scratch on that arm. He's learning how to play scat back here, and of course they've taped it up pretty heavily on that left side. He's got a little bandage on it and a little pad there, so they're not too concerned about him carrying the football, but it is something to watch.
Yeah, the scat back with some cat scratch fever here in the first half. Incomplete. He was trying to dump it off to Larry Bowie, was Bobo. He was pressured there by Maynard Caldwell, the right defensive end, number 89 of South Carolina.
Well, you get in that kind of position where you got that big person coming in at you, and you got to throw the ball over top. Look right there, you got to throw it way over top, and he actually overthrows his receiver.
An oh, by the way, face mask goes uncalled. Caldwell providing some of that pressure out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. There's the delay. Edwards stopped at midfield. Benji Young, number 49, inside linebacker, also out of Rock Hill's Northwestern High School, redshirt junior, making the stop.
Well, you don't want to jinx teams, but for a first game of the season, no mistakes, no turnovers, no fumbles.
Yeah, a very crisply played game. You'd think they'd had 4 preseason games.
Exactly.
They're 2 for 5 in 3rd down conversions, 4 wideouts for Bobo. Edwards, the setback. Daniels in the slot. Bobo's pass, incomplete. Hines Ward slipped at the 34 as he tried to cut in front of Washington, the strong safety. But that could have been a completed pass very easily were it not for the slip by Hines Ward.
Yeah, he had good separation with the cornerback. He just, when he made that turn and he planted, his foot slipped out. Of course, Bobo was timing that ball, throwing it in there as he turns.
4th and 14. Nick Lowe is back deep. He's waiting at the 14-yard line. High punt, hang time again, fair catch.
Wow.
Drifts and drifts.
Oh, wow.
Down to the 4-yard line. Dogs are doing it the old-fashioned way with defensive special teams. That's a 46-yard punt. Burger King presents the first ever college football top 10 fan poll, where you, the fan, votes for who's number one. The preseason number one team, to no one's surprise, Bobby Bowden's Florida State Seminoles. Nebraska, Auburn is there. Penn State, and you see the rest of that lot. I tell you, if Auburn didn't have to play Florida twice, and I think there's a good chance they might, I think they have a chance of winning the national title. Go to Burger King and find out how you can join in on the fun. Tannehill starts at the 5. Pass incomplete. And a dangerous pass at that. Nick Lowe, the intended receiver. Buster Owens was over to cover. You see, I foresee Auburn perhaps beating Florida at home. But then they'd have to play them again in the SEC championship game in all likelihood. There you see the numbers on Tannehill. Look at that comparison after Brad Scott. The difference it made. Boy, he did get better, didn't he?
Well, what he's doing is he's playing safe passes. He's throwing those high percentage passes. Don't force the ball in there. A lot of quarterbacks, as they gain confidence, they start to force the ball in.
Just shy of the 5 on 2nd and 10. Incomplete. Zola Davis, the intended receiver. Alandis Sims, the junior out of Orlando, was there covering. 11 of 18 for 139 yards today for Tannehill. You see him directing traffic, talking to Davis. This is a vocal leader. He may have gotten rid of the locks, but he still verbalized.
Oh, he sure does in that huddle. And listen to this crowd.
3rd and 10. Big play for the South Carolina offense. Tannehill. Incomplete. Thought better of it. That same out pattern to Nick Lowe, and Buster Owens was right there. And it's a punt formation from the Carolina end zone forthcoming.
Boy, field position has really gone Georgia's way. They got that great punt return. They've started several drives about midfield. They should get this ball inside midfield. So that defense rises up. That's exactly what you want your defense to do. Give a little bit, but don't give the first down. Make them punt it from the end zone, and you'll get great field position.
Jeff Coat to punt it away. Special teams play usually will decide a game that's a toss-up. And Georgia has had the better of it today. And that was the book on the Dogs team with Parkman and Langley. McCraney takes in this punt and goes down the sidelines, ushered out at the 45-yard line. And how many times do we mention it? Time and time again, if you've got quality defense and special teams, you'll win most games. LSU and Mississippi State coming your way next Saturday from Starkville. The Bulldogs and the Tigers. 12:30 Eastern and 11:30 Central Time on most of these SEC stations.
Now with 7 minutes left, if you're Georgia, what you want to do is you want to drive the ball. Don't give it up quickly. Drive down, have one of those long drives, use the clock, and don't give South Carolina back a chance to score.
Bobo over the middle. Brown, the tight end, can't hold on. Incomplete. Larry Brown, the freshman from Decatur, Georgia, popped by Abrams.
Boy, that was a hit. Coaches tell you, remember that old put your helmet on the ball? That's exactly what that is. You got to catch that one, though, but look at that hit. Bam!
You talk to both of these teams offensively, and they're mirror images of one another. Both are untested at tight end. From a defensive standpoint, they're a 4-3 that stunt. So preparation a little easier for these coaching staffs coming in.
Absolutely.
Edwards off the right side. An explosive start on that drive from Edwards to pick up nearly 10. Stopped by Washington.
Did you see once he saw that hole, how he just exploded the acceleration through there? Watch him. He looks like everybody else looks like they're running slow motion. Bam! Now he's through it. He just accelerates through that hole. Boy, and they've had some great accelerators here.
Oh, they have. 3rd and short. 3rd and less than a yard. Brown and Taylor, twin tight ends in for Georgia. Motion from McCraney. Toss sweep right. Cut back. Edwards first down at the 30. Well, he just keeps making good decisions.
Oh, he does. Even that time. I mean, he knows he's got to get 1 yard. A lot of backs would think, put your head down, ram it. But he's got that vision into the hole, and all of a sudden, he just picks up a great block by Simpson, and bang, he comes right back around. You know, that up back that makes that first block doesn't a lot of times get credit, but Simpson that time really got a good block.
The numbers pick up, and the carries continue for Edwards. 1st and 10. Problems with the exchange, and markers down. Henry Taylor, the defensive tackle, in the midst of all of that. First real breakdown that we've seen.
Yeah.
Dead ball, offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
We should point out there's been a change with respect to the neutral zone this year.
Yeah, when the man is on the center and he jumps in the neutral zone, the 2 guards in the center can react. Now, if he's out on the guard, only the center and the guard can react on that side. If it's all the way out on the tackle, then only the tackle can react. We got a good explanation of that yesterday.
Bobby Gadsden, who's in charge of the officials in the SEC. Tied at 7 with 5.5 remaining in the opening half. Edwards, stutter steps down to the 20.
You know, there was nothing there at first. At the point of attack, there wasn't much. And you saw those quick feet, and bang, he just accelerates back out. This is going to go off tackle right down here by number 71, Meadows. Then all of a sudden, boom, look at those feet. Look how quick those feet are put down. Bam, 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 stutter feet. Don't take those long strides.
Jeff Kilgore tripped him up. First down, Georgia. Edwards hammered behind the line of scrimmage. Quinn Brody darts through there at 6'2", 240 out of Fork Union Prep.
And Quinn Brody says, I'll fix his legs. I'll just pick him up. Can't run without your legs. Watch number 99 come in here. Plays off a good block, lifts those legs right up, drops them for about a yard loss.
Edwards' stats would be better, but Brad Scott's defense has been able to stop him 5 times for minus yards. 2nd and 12.
Well, this is the perfect drive for Mike Bobo in Georgia. They started with over 7 minutes. They're down under 4.5.
Keeping the ball from Tannehill. He lofts one. Hunter tripped up. It appeared to be incidental contact. Fans are reacting. I like the call, or the lack thereof. It was some pressure up front coming defensively from Robert Smith.
Yeah, there's the pressure by Smith, but watch when he turns right there. Their feet just get kind of tangled. He just kind of stumbles. And watch Mike Bobo. You talked about Robert Smith. Bam! That's a hello.
Abrams was that free safety that was tied up with Hunter. 3rd and 12. Ward in motion. Bobo, complete! Down to the 5-yard line. Tony Small, the flanker.
What a strike. That's exactly what you got to call it. That's a rope. When you throw on that crossing pattern, right over the old post pattern. Well, I thought Aubrey Brooks was going to knock this down. 43. Look at that hand. Just a perfect strike.
Oh, the freshman out of Jacksonville with his first reception of the game. Tony Small, number 4, and he's very pleased as he comes back to the sidelines. First down goal. Ball at the 6, and we've got a timeout coming up.
But Tim, look how long this drive has been. They started this drive with over 7 minutes. That's not a normal Georgia drive.
Oh, yeah. They averaged 2 minutes, 40 seconds per touchdown drive last year. They want them to last longer this season.
You know, I never really learned my school fight song.
Oh, I know it.
Hell, alma mater.
War Eagle feeling so true.
Give me some music.
They lit up scoreboards from Ann Arbor to Tuscaloosa. They were warriors of Saturday afternoon.
Lee son of Notre Dame.
On to victory, strike up the band.
Now relive it all with Burger King Legends of College Football Cups. Free when you upsize your Whopper value meal for just 39 cents. Obviously, a wiser choice than a fight song album.
They're all true blue. We'll all stick together.
7 our score on a beautiful day in Athens, Georgia. Setback split behind Bobo. Edwards to the 3. Pretty good surge coming from Cousin over at that right corner spot. and Aubrey Books also in on the pile.
Oh, I love the way this kid runs. Watch this. No fear. Get through that hole. Slice through. Any way you can get that yardage. And you've got to finish this drive. You can't take this football, drive this far down the field, and not get a score.
Double tight ends. Simpson, Callaway, and Edwards all in as they stack it up. Simpson in motion. Edwards will follow. Edwards fumbles into the end zone. South Carolina recovers, and they don't finish the deal. Lee Wiggins, the strong safety, comes up with the recovery.
What a play.
Boy, you're prophetic. As soon as you mention they must finish the drive.
Finish the drive. You can't take the ball and drive that far down there. Look, he never had the handle on the ball all the way. He bobbled the ball early on the handoff. Watch Edwards. See, he never has the handle. You just got to look that ball in. And you have to credit South Carolina for great reaction to the football. What a turnaround.
Lee Wiggins, the redshirt sophomore from Hartsville, South Carolina, with the recovery. And, you know, this is the first time Edwards has played the position. You had to wonder, would he put it on the ground? But he never really had a good opportunity to bring that one in. Deuce Staley gets a couple. Just two. Whit Marshall, the Mike linebacker, his 5th tackle of the afternoon.
Now, let me tell you what they're saying in Georgia's defensive huddle right now. We can move the football on South Carolina. We got to get the football back. Now, there's a good thing right there. You see the coach come over, start talking to him. Listen, you fumbled. You made a big mistake. Don't worry about it. There's no yelling and screaming anymore in college football. It's just instruction. You know what you did wrong? You should have put the ball away. Those type of things.
He's had 16 rushes in the game for 44 yards. So it has been an early baptism for Edwards at that scat back spot. And a timeout called now with 2:43 remaining for South Carolina. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining until halftime. Bob Kessling has more down on the sidelines. Bob?
Tim, you know, the South Carolina coaching staff happen to have John Reeves with them, but so is Spring Valley High School in Columbia, because John has a junior quarterback, his son by the name of David. And David last night led Spring Valley to a 20-0 victory over Lexington. Now, the first time David even played in a game this year for Spring Valley, the first pass he threw went for a 43-yard touchdown. So Spring Valley is 2-0 under the leadership of David Reeves, another good quarterback in that family.
By the way, Brad Scott's son is also a quarterback. I think they're Jeff and John. They all have an opportunity to see their kids play because of the Dooley rule.
Dooley rule, where the coaches can go see their family members. Can you imagine that a high school coach, all of a sudden John Reeves' son moves in here? Oh, thank you, Lord. I appreciate this blessing.
By the way, early in the 3rd quarter, we'll be visiting with the athletics director at Georgia, Vince Dooley. He, of course, is the chair of the NCAA Infractions Committee, and he had much to do with this celebration rule. He and Grant Taft, the head of the American Football Coaches Association. Deuce Staley beyond the 25, near the 29-yard line. Whit Marshall makes the stop, and Steve Tannehill is down on the ground at the 15-yard line.
Oh, and the way he went down, that is pain.
Oh, some hearts are stopping in the Carolinas.
Now, on a running play, you don't think about a quarterback getting hurt.
You know, you wonder about anytime you're making that handoff, does a lineman get pushed back? Let's take a look.
See if we can see it all the way. There's the turn.
He got a hit. This is obviously away from the ball as we follow Staley.
That's the play. That's why you don't think about it being a quarterback getting hurt. But watch watch Frank Watson. Oh, yeah. Wouch.
Well, the good news is it doesn't appear to be a knee or an ankle, which frankly I was concerned with after watching the ball live. Many times you'll see linemen push back into quarterbacks, but he's just a little woozy, and for good reason.
Well, that's it. Frank Watts is the outside backer. He's coming hard on that play, and when Tannehill came around, he just smacked him.
Anthony Wright, highly celebrated out of Banksboro, North Carolina. West Craven High School, and he'll get his first snap.
Boy, that's a tough one. Haven't taken a snap, haven't passed the ball. All of a sudden, you come cold off the bench.
3rd and 2, and Pritchett dots the I. And he gets it for a first down.
Look at Tannehill. He's up on the sideline. I want to go back in, Coach. I'm ready. Look at him. You talk about a competitor, a leader.
And listen to the faithful from that end zone just behind him as he re-enters the game.
That's where you run in and tell your offensive huddle, give me one more play like that. I'll really hit him next time. And you're the quarterback.
At the 32, and 1:45 and counting, South Carolina. Tied at 7 with Georgia. Tannehill's pass to Davis. He already has 1 touchdown reception today. That's good for a first down to the 45-yard line. Alanda Sims over there to provide coverage.
Now, I'll tell you what you don't want to do, Tim, and that's get a quarterback mad at you, because they've got a lot of fire in Tannehill, and he may want to come back and really make Georgia pay for it on this series.
Davis flanked to the top of your screen. 1st and 10, Pritchett near midfield. Well, if they can get 4 or 5 yards a pop from Stanley Pritchett the rest of the way, that'll make Tannehill's job much easier. Clock continues to run with 1:10 and a timeout remaining for South Carolina. Georgia with their full complement of 3.
Well, this is shades of 2 years ago when Tannehill took him as a sophomore on that long drive.
Absolutely.
No timeouts. I think there were no timeouts on the clock.
That was the most amazing thing about that play. They'll have to use their last time out of this half, and Steve, you can tell, is frustrated that he couldn't get his men aligned. He was trying to get the attention of Calvin Owens to get him moved, and then was forced to call the timeout. Now, that was the most amazing thing about that last drive, is he had the ball at about the 1.5-yard line, no timeouts remaining, managed to get his team aligned and get the play off in time for the touchdown.
It was a running play, right? I mean, it was a dive over. As Randall Godfrey said, that play haunts me.
Oh, in a very big way. Those kinds of games. And you talk of Georgia and the concern for their season, and Ray Goff obviously is a focal point of that. You look at their schedule. Vince Dooley, the athletic director at Georgia, said he wanted Goff to have an opportunity to play the toughies at home. He earned that right over 6+ years as head coach. Now he has that opportunity. You've got Auburn, you've got Alabama, you've got Florida for the first time ever coming to your place. South Carolina has shifted gears and moved their weight room into an area where they believe they can make their team stronger. 2nd down and 6. 51 seconds left. Oh, a dump pass. Tannehill with a smoothie. Out of bounds at the 26 is Pritchett. And we may have a marker down.
Yeah, there's a marker. It's going to be a terrible marker for South Carolina. It's a clip. As the receiver was going out of bounds, his other wide receiver was trying to get a block on someone and clipped him right in the back.
Block in the back by the offense. 10 yards. A smaller foul.
What a heads-up play by Tannehill, though. Coming out of the pocket, he's rushed out of the pocket. He's going to run with it, right? No, he flips it almost underhand. Look at him yelling. You talk about a leader. Now watch this play. He's going to get pressured out of the pocket. He's going to step up to his left now. Come out of the pocket. Now watch, last second. There he is. Just kind of flips it to him. It's a forward pass. Now watch the clip. Tail end of the play right here. Right there. That's going to be the clip. Oh, that's a terrible clip.
It is.
Calvin Owens.
Had no impact on the outcome of the play. Backs him up to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10. 37 seconds left. No timeouts. Almost picked off by Corey Johnson. The good news for South Carolina is that does stop the clock. 2nd and 10 with 34 seconds remaining in the half. Georgia had an opportunity to get a lead, and now South Carolina without a timeout trying to cash in.
Don't you love it when a coach describes you as a spark plug? That's what he said about Corey Johnson. He said he's a spark plug. He said he's just back there. He just ignites us.
Joe Kynes, the defensive coordinator, with kind words for the free safety. Tannehill. Zola Davis, who's been very active today. He's got it. Clock continues to run. He did not get out of bounds, so Tannehill must hurry them to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he has no timeouts left.
Now see, after a period of 3 to 4 seconds, the officials have the right to stop the clock because the defensive player cannot stay behind the line of scrimmage.
And see, it's third down. That was what the problem was. It was not a first down.
Quick out, complete, and out of bounds is Tom Pritchard, number 84, the wide receiver.
Now, Tim, you got 10 seconds on the clock. You take one throw to the end zone. You don't try to catch this ball in bounds. You're already in field goal range. This is just to get 8-9 yards downfield, play ball control.
Now remember, now you can spike the ball to stop the clock if you so desire now in college football.
That's true, but you almost have to kick a field goal in this position because you only got 10 seconds. So you take one throw to the end zone, and then you just come up with 2 or 3 seconds and you kick the field goal.
5 wideouts, trips right. Tannehill stops at the line, throws to Davis. Touchdown! Zola Davis! With no time remaining in the half. How about that for composure?
Incredible.
Tannehill, the thing I liked about it, he stopped right at the line of scrimmage in a situation where he might have gone beyond prior to the throw.
Well, we talked about Tannehill not being mobile, but you see they lose containment on him. Now look, when he looks back, throws all the way back against the field. Greg Bright.
That's a breakdown in coverage as well. With those 5 wideouts, Davis right there didn't have to move. I mean, it was a perfect strike.
Boy, what a turnaround for Georgia.
Tannehill 5 of 6 on that drive, 75 yards.
Look at Tannehill.
That's just enough celebration. It's legal, it counts, and what a turnaround as we head to halftime. Bob Kessling standing by with Brad Scott.
Dramatic finish of the first half, Coach.
Oh, well, I'm really glad to get that touchdown, but I'm very concerned about our lack of running game. We got some troubles in there. We're going to have to get it ironed out at halftime.
What's Pritchard's health status with his ribs?
Well, he got a little bruised up there early in the first quarter, but he's a real competitor. We're going to try to get him, ice him down a little bit, see if we can get something out of him this second half. We're going to have to play better running game and better against the run on defense.
What about Tannehill? Did he get dinged too?
Yeah, but he's okay. You saw him make the last play right there, and I think that we're okay. We probably need this break in here a little bit, and but I believe that our football team, is going to have to come out here and play better 30 minutes of football. You're not going to win in here playing like we did the first half.
Thanks, Coach. Brad Scott, his Gamecocks get a touchdown late. They go to the locker room leading 14-7. Halftime's activities from Athens in just a moment.
Tannehill having a career half for South Carolina.
Yes, he is. He's played very, very well. He's thrown very, very smart passes. That's one thing that we made the comparison of his first couple years to last year is he throws smart passes. The turnovers, that one big one looms for Georgia. That's a huge turnover. But they really have, South Carolina has not established a running game yet.
When we start talking at halftime each week, we have Rose Rewind. And the focal point of Rose Rewind this week is?
Well, first of all, for South Carolina, they have got to establish a running game. They only had 35 yards rushing in the first half. They know they have got to run the football better. And Georgia's got to take advantage of field position. It seemed like all game long they were sitting down in South Carolina's territory and only came away with 7 points. So they have got to take advantage of field position.
Gamecocks and Bulldogs locked in a battle that once again is likely to go down to the wire, as it should in this long-time rivalry in the SEC. A 14-7 lead for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Moments ago, our Bob Kessling on the sidelines caught up with Ray Goff.
Coach, what about the first half? Big plays all around.
Well, we got a chance to put something more on the board, Bob. We get a turnover, and then they take it 80. get a bad call because the time should have run out. Should have never been another play at the end of the game. But they make a big play, and that's to their credit. You got to give them a lot of credit.
You won the kicking game in the first half. How important is that to you?
I'd rather win the game on the scoreboard. I'm not too worried about the kicking game right now. We just got to win. We got to quit making silly penalties and mistakes. And if we can get offensively every third play, we're doing something bad. If we can just stay on track, and our defense is playing pretty good except for the last drive.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Bob.
Ray hit on a very interesting point, the minus yards on the ground. They've been stopped, Edwards has, many times behind the line of scrimmage, and that's put them in second and third and long situations. Parkman will kick off. Another interesting aspect of that touchdown, Gamecocks will open with the ball in this half. Cousin brings it out, bounces out at about the 21-22 yard line, Terry Cousin, and that's where it will be 1st and 10 for South Carolina. And he made a point about officiating in that last drive as well. Thinking with no timeouts, the clock should have continued to run. Let's look at the first half possessions. First for South Carolina. They never really had field position, even with their touchdown drive. 13 plays, 80 yards, and another 80-yard drive for the touchdown to close the half. Georgia had field position the entire half, and Dave, you pointed that out from the outset.
They certainly did. You know, it's interesting when I heard Ray Goff talking to Bob Kessling when he said that we got a bad play. Did he think that Tannehill was across the line of scrimmage? I was wondering if that's what he thought, a bad call.
I think he thought the bad call was the fact that the officials stopped the clock on that third down and short situation.
That's right.
The end around. Kerry Hood carrying that time, picked up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. The roll left, Tannehill complete. Nicklow makes the grab, and he is out to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. A huge series for Joe Kynes' defense to open this half, because should South Carolina score even 3, that could be tough. It's going to be tough for the Bulldogs to come from behind today.
Well, that fumble was such an emotional drain. It's so hard. You want to go in at halftime with a positive note, and they really went in on a negative note.
Tannehill with plenty of time. Pritchett shirks the middle linebacker, gets away from Whit Marshall, and Buster Owens brings him down, the cornerback.
Look at Tannehill doing the field director there. Get over here.
And a timeout by the officials.
Well, there's no time on the clock.
Yeah, the clock went out for a moment. The play clock. But they are going to measure. He's going to be a little short of the first down. But you already get a feeling just here in the opening moments of this second half, that's the play clock, that had elapsed prior to the time that the officials stopped it. But you get a feeling already Georgia's defense is on its heels. 2nd and inches for Tannehill.
Well, again, that's such an emotional swing. It's so hard to overcome that. When you score, you have to take advantage of it. And they really had a 14-point turnaround with that fumble.
Quick out pattern into Georgia territory. 1st down, Deuce Staley on the receiving end.
And Tim, just like the beginning of a game, when you get the butterflies out, 3 or 4 plays and your defense is back playing under control.
In that first half, on the 2 drives for touchdowns, Tannehill was 12 of 16 for 157 yards on the 2 touchdown scoring drives. 4 wide receivers in. Tannehill steps up over the middle to Staley, and Deuce stopped near the first down marker at the 38-yard line.
Well, one of the things you have to credit is the offensive line of South Carolina has given Tannehill a lot of time, especially in the middle. They're funneling everybody wide. Tannehill is able to step up, look downfield. They're giving them big time up there. You see those big hosses up there, Dixon and Beckwith. We talked about Whitfield and Wheeler, and of course James Dexter.
We haven't seen many blitzes from Georgia in the last couple of South Carolina drives.
At the Georgia 38.
5 wide receivers in now for Tannehill.
Here comes one.
Yep. The adjustment is made. Godfrey comes. Pass complete to Staley. And he's hauled down at the 32 of Georgia. Owens made the stop.
And even on that blitz, they showed the blitz quickly. The 2 safeties came up the middle and were off the cadence. Here's Tannehill pointing out, hey, you go out here. I think I see a blitz. The touch of the helmet is an interesting call. It's almost like a look at me when he takes and he touches both sides of his helmet.
On this drive, he's 5 out of 5 in the air for 42 yards. Pritchett met by Godfrey. That's a 228-pound linebacker going head up against 240 pounds of scat back. That's a lot of scat, right? But Godfrey has been there time in and time out. Joe Kynes' defense. It's Joe in the hat with the headsets on, shouting instructions. Unlike most defensive coordinators, he wants direct communication on the sidelines. Play fake. Pritchett, same play that they utilized early in the game for a big gainer that led to no scoring. He gets the first down to the 20-yard line again. It's that play fake out of the gun.
That's really an interesting play. Watch the two backs cross, and they fake it like it's a draw. Now he picks up the first back out of the backfield. He's one-on-one with the backer. They were really successful in the first half, as you said, Tim, with it. And they come right back to it. And they move the chains again.
Ball at the dog 20. 1st and 10. Tannehill out of the shotgun again. Out pattern to Davis. His favorite target has it at the 9. And this is looking awfully easy for South Carolina here in the opening moments of the second half.
Well, and you're seeing that Georgia, in trying to get pressure on Tannehill, they're blitzing outside backers and that, trying to get some pressure on him, and the linemen are picking him up. Tannehill's got a good release. He likes to sit back in that shotgun because he can see those backers creeping up and knows where the pressure is coming from.
1st and goal from the 9. Pritchett, Staley, both in the game. Pritchett the up back. Tannehill flushed out as Davis, Zola Davis, hog-tied at the 5 by Kirby Smart, the free safety.
Well, Davis has just got a beautiful stride. Watch this. Comes across. He's crossing all the way across the field. This is zone coverage, so you're trying to run in between a deep and shallow zone. You can see how he just looks like he's just kind of striding. It's a soft run. Looks the ball in well. He's got excellent concentration.
8 of 8 for 68 yards on this drive. Tannehill has been outstanding. 2nd and goal.
Here they come. Look at them creeping up in there.
Right on time. Whit Marshall and Greg Bright collaborate to stop Pritchett for a loss of 3, maybe 4. And it was only a matter of time before you knew Joe Kynes had to do something to stop all of this.
Yeah, you have to. I thought Bright almost was going to get the handoff. Watch this. Boom, right there. They just swallowed him. Guessed right. It's what you want to do. Put him in that 3rd down, about 10 yards to go situation. If your defense can hold them to a field goal try in here, it's a victory. It's a victory on this series because they've driven so far.
It'll be interesting to see how they defend Zola Davis, who's in tight, lining up tight at the 10-yard line with 3 wide receivers to the lower portion of your screen.
Got to get pressure on him.
Incomplete. Intended for Staley. So the Georgia defense gets the job done and will force a field goal situation.
Now look at the time he has back there. Not a lot of pressure. They decided to drop in that zone, and you can see Tannehill. He's a competitor. Once he misses it, you see the reaction.
Reed Morton lining up at the 17-yard line. Will be a 27-yard attempt.
And it's not an easy one because it's on that right hash for a right-footed kicker.
Angle left. Missed one earlier. It was wide right. This one true through the middle of the uprights. And now you can actually say that fumble by Edwards at the end of the half was a 17-point swing because South Carolina did get the ball to open this half and cashed in for 3 more.
When a traffic jam was 2 cars in the same town, Mobil Oil was there. When Lindbergh crossed the Atlantic, Mobil was on board. Mobil was in the world's first minivans, in the first space shuttle, and in the tanks of Desert Storm. We've been helping engines last for a long time. Mobil, changing oil for over 125 years.
Introducing Lee Authentic Clothing. New cottons, denims, and colors for men and women. Lee Authentic Clothing. This is just the beginning.
There are a lot of reasons why we created Ford Windstar with over 40 standard safety features, including standard dual airbags and standard anti-lock brakes. Many reasons for giving Windstar secure handling and making it longer for a smoother ride. We could acquaint you with some of these reasons, but why wake them up? Ford Windstar, created for the most important people in the world.
This is the warming bin. The fresh burgers go back there, and you always sell the old ones from down here. Any questions?
When do we sell the fresh burgers?
You're not listening.
At Sonic, you never get a warmed-over burger because we make everything fresh when you order it. Like our Burger and Ring Special for $1.99. A famous Sonic burger and Sonic's made-from-scratch onion rings, just $1.99 this month only.
Sonic, driving for a change.
The archway here in Athens that separates Broad Street, downtown Athens, from the campus itself. Years ago, freshmen couldn't go under that archway. In modern times, some of that hazing is stopped. Fair catch called on the pooch kick again at the 30-yard line. Larry Brown, the tight end, number 87, came up with it. And it's 1st and 10 for Georgia. And they must get their offense cranked up to open this half. Now suddenly down 10. When they were last on the field, the game was tied at 7. And Mike Bobo, not a bad first half, 7 of 17, 94 yards, did not give up a pick. But now the time is of the essence.
It's time to answer. It's time to take your team on a drive. It's time to be a leader in that huddle.
With the I formation behind him, play fake, Bobo, the outlet pass incomplete. Intended for Selma Callaway. And the rush was coming, and you know South Carolina is thinking that Georgia may go back to the air, go back to what they know how to do best.
Well, this is just a dump pass out of the backfield, but the back doesn't look back for the ball. Look, until it's too late. Oh, there it is. He's got to look back quicker than that, but he got bumped and coming out of the backfield, so that distracted him a little bit.
3 wides now in for Mike Bobo on 2nd and 10.
I'd just like to see Bobo go down the center of the field.
Pass is complete at the 34-yard line to Hines Ward. You're right. His most impressive passes today have been the crossing patterns 15 to 20 yards downfield.
Yeah, he's got an excellent delivery. Steps up nice in the pocket. I just like to see him go down. Those out patterns are tough passes to catch.
He doesn't appear as comfortable throwing.
Big down here. 3rd down.
3rd and 6. 5 wide receivers in the game. Bobo steps up into the pocket, hits Hines Ward. Nice move by Ward after the catch. He has the 1st down to the 43. Jeff Kilgore, the cornerback out of Greenville, South Carolina. J.L. Mann High School made the stop.
Well, Tim, the coaches, they analyze film, and I'm sure in this game they're saying, hey, I think we can work against the corners a lot better, that the corners are playing deep. Now, you can see the results are a 1st down there, but again, it takes a lot of plays to get down. You start running that crossing pattern in the middle, you're picking up big yardage. They miss a tackle, and they're off and running. That's why I want to see them go over the middle.
Ward and Hunter flank to the right side. And the hand is to Edwards. Robert Edwards, a 1st down to the 41-yard line of South Carolina. And you know, no one on the field of play in a Georgia uniform wants to make something happen any more than Robert Edwards.
Absolutely. Good explosion through the hole. Once you see it, get that vision now. Put it down, put that ball in tight. You see him put that other hand up on the ball when he was going to get hit from the left side. You learn by your mistakes. Unfortunately, that was a costly mistake in that 1st half.
1st and 10 at the Carolina 41. They're delay handoff is to Edwards again. Dances and prances to the 38 of South Carolina, getting all of that on his own.
He makes a 3-yard run. Looks exciting, doesn't it?
He'll be tough at the homecoming dance. I mean, he can shuffle.
Well, I heard Ray Goff in the interview with Bob Kessling say, we've got to play more plays together well. He said, we're running 2 plays, and then we're having a bad one. Then we'll run 3, and we'll have a bad one. They've got to put more consistency in their plays.
2nd and 7. Edwards again. Hammered. That's a nice move by Robert Smith, piercing through number 44, the redshirt sophomore, aided by Benji Young, the inside backer.
Now you've got 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. I think you're almost in 4-down territory. I think Ray Goff has got to say, hey, we've got to make a stand, much like Brad Scott did in that first half on that drive.
Yeah, they were down 7-0 when he went on 4th and short in his own territory. Out of the shotgun. Bobo Daniels, first down, Bulldogs at the 13 of South Carolina.
And you see where the pass is? Right across the middle. What a job Bobo did avoiding Caldwell, 89. Watch from the left of your screen. Caldwell's got him, right? Bobo, step up in there. Look at the strike he throws on the crossing pattern. Wow, that's a big-time pass.
He liked it.
Now that's spontaneous emotion right there.
1st and 10. They mark it at the 13. Edwards, wide open, touchdown.
You talk about blocks. Watch the block by Bryce Hunter, 88. Good block. You don't see it right in there. Good block by Bryce Hunter, wide receiver. But what a hole that offensive line opened up for him.
Hartman for the point. His first career touchdown. Hey, is this the best time of the year? Absolutely. 17-14, South Carolina, midway in the 3rd, back after these words from your local station. The football earlier, and it cost his team. Now he comes back to culminate a 70-yard drive, a 13-yard jaunt. Robert Edwards, his first career TD. And the Bulldogs down 17-14 to South Carolina. With Bob Kessling and Dave Rowe, Tim Brando, happy to have you with us on Jefferson Pilot Sports. Terry Cousin brings it in at the 2. He has a seam. He has one, and he's out to the 40-yard line. Tremendous return from Cousin, picking his way to give Tannehill outstanding field position to open this drive at the 41, something South Carolina has been without most of this afternoon.
Well, you see him, he's running under control, picks up some good blocks right here. Again, don't lose that control, just run under control, look for that little seam, and he rumbles out to the 40-yard line. That gives Tannehill and his gang great field position.
38 yards, the return by Terry Cousin. And they mark it just outside the 40-yard line. Swing pattern to Pritchett. And the corner comes up to do a nice job. Buster Owens. And you know, any team from the SEC needs to have at least one Buster on its roster. He came up quickly to close to make sure Pritchett got no further.
Wow, look at those stats. 25 of 35, 296 yards. No interceptions and 2 touchdowns.
Pritchett is the lone setback. Out pattern complete and into Georgia territory at the 48-yard line for the first down. Calvin Owens, the flanker, stopped by Eric Robinson, the corner.
I'll pick your brain over there, big guy. How many yards did Zier have in this game last year?
He had a lot. You know, the only 2 guys that have outpassed Eric Zier as a collegian from the WAC conference. So that should tell you something.
That tells you something quick.
Brad Scott looking on as his offense into Georgia territory. Tannehill stopped, sacked. the blitzing corner, Ronald Bailey, with his first sack recorded.
Boy, and you have to give great credit to this defensive secondary, because Tannehill, they actually picked up the blitz in the middle, and you see, he steps up, he's got nowhere to go, and you see Bailey coming from the outside there, but that is a coverage sack. There was no one to throw to.
Second down and 16. Georgia giving some different looks defensively now for Tannehill. He steps up, finds Pritchett, the safety valve. He's into the Bulldogs territory yet again at the 47-yard line, about to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage after that sack.
Well, and if you're in that Georgia huddle on defense, you're saying, hey, our team just moved the ball 70 yards. We need to get them back. If you're in South Carolina's huddle, they're saying, keep the ball on offense, drive it down the field, and listen to the crowd start to get into it.
Blitz from Smart. Blitz from Smart, and down goes Tannehill.
Tim, I think you have to credit, as you said earlier, Buster Owens and Armin Love. One-on-one coverage out there, and Tannehill, they don't allow him to complete it. That's again a coverage sack. He had plenty of time to get that ball off. He had nobody to throw it to.
That's an example of this new look, more of an attack style of defense rather than read and react. Something this Georgia team getting used to under Joe Kimes. The punt from Jeffco. McCraney gathers it in at the 10. He has a 41-yarder earlier today. There he goes. And Pritchett stops him down the sidelines at the 41-yard line. Hat on hat.
When you see that wall of blockers, everybody is on the sideline. There's no denying where it's going. All you got to do is follow the red jerseys.
First down and 10 now for the Bulldogs at their own 42-yard line. 43-yard punt and a 30-yard return by McCraney, as the Georgia special teams again being noticed. Bobo, little screen. This has been a staple of Wayne McDuffie's attack through the years. Wally Burnham, the defensive coordinator of South Carolina, well aware of that, and the Gamecocks snuff it out. Stop back at the 39-yard line, minus yardage on that play for Georgia. Bob Kessling has more on Mike Bobo.
You know, Bobo has to have his confidence back now after leading the Georgia Bulldogs to that touchdown. He's got a strong arm, likes to show it off. I asked him if he was ever a baseball pitcher. He said no. His dad, who was his high school football coach, thought that might mess up his football delivery. So it's all been football for Bobo.
Second and 12. Deep. Hines Ward out of bounds at the 23. Now that'll keep you off the mound and away from towing the rubber.
What a good throw, but you have to credit the wide receiver getting open. But watch how he lays this ball up. Throws it up in the air. Look at that concentration. Great concentration.
33 yards on the reception. Mike Bobo is excited.
And that's a quarterback to a quarterback.
That's right. First and 10 at the 23. All bootleg action complete. He lost his helmet. Hunter literally had his head taken off, but manages the 16-yard line. Ron Neely hammered him, but he stayed right with it.
What a play by Hunter. I mean, it's not just fall down. Ray Goff says, that's what I want to see. I want to see effort. Watch this strike. Clean strike. Hits him right underneath the face mask. Boom, up comes the helmet. Look, I'm not going down. I think I can pick up more yards.
By the way, that's not an NCAA violation. Ron Neely, who delivered the blow, now has his helmet off.
Well, Hunter's 207 pounds. That's pretty big for a wideout.
Now, they put together a videotape to make certain that we as announcers and everyone participating at the Division I level would know, in fact, when the celebration rule was, in fact, going to be enforced.
That time, the helmet's never supposed to be taken off on the playing field, unless, of course, someone knocks it off. That was not a voluntary loss of hat.
No, I don't think he voluntarily took that off. I don't know. There's no penalty for taking off someone else's helmet, is what you're saying.
Neely forced to leave. He's a little woozy after delivering that blow to Bryce Hunter.
And Neely's only 169. He's a 5'9" cornerback. He delivered a big shot on that play.
2nd down, 2. McCraney is in the game as an extra wideout. Robert Edwards, a gaping hole. Edwards lost it again. Out of bounds at the 1. They'll mark it at the 1-yard line.
Oh, I thought he fumbled it out of the back of the end zone.
It was very close.
Oh. Wow, watch where this ball was fumbled out. You've got to put this ball away. If he fumbles it through the end zone, it's a touchback. Watch the tail end here. You got to put that ball away.
Stripped by Terry Cousin, and you can see the pylon moving. So the official had to know that that ball was in front of that pylon. It is marked at the 3-yard line. Well, Ray Goff breathing a sigh of relief over that.
Well, the official was in great position to make that call, Tim.
Power backfield with a twin tight end look. And a timeout called by South Carolina. So their defense, we'll talk about it. 3:41 remaining in the 3rd. There's some action between the hedges today. Scott has seen his team take advantage of opportunities to get a 10-point lead, and Ray Goff's survival dogs are answering the bell. 1st and goal, 3:41 remaining in the 3rd. Edwards vaults his way almost to the end line. Brandon Bennett, of course, scored 2 years ago on a touchdown with seconds left to culminate that Tannehill drive with a hurdle quite similar to that, and he's just short of the end zone.
This is big dog time. Big dog on big dog. Front lineman. Smash mouth football. You get down there, there's nothing funny here. It's just big man on big man. Root them out, as they used to say.
Double tight end look. Power I formation. Pitch, cut back, touchdown. Edwards again.
I can promise you on the sideline they were saying put both hands on it. But what a great cut he made to make Hank Campbell miss. Hank Campbell was in the backfield, about 2 yards in the backfield, and he made a miss to come back up through that hole for the touchdown.
Oh, he is a slasher. If you didn't know about Robert Edwards before, you're going to know about him now.
Again, watch Campbell, 45, shoot through there. He's got him, right? Look at that cut back inside. You're not going to arm tackle him. Again, there's the cut, plant. He just gets his feet down so quickly, Tim.
What a nice public relations job to bring back the echoes of Georgia football with a tailback or scat back like that. That'll make the fans and influential alumni awfully happy. And the Bulldogs lead it 21-17. Mike Bobo on the phone upstairs, talking with Wayne McDuffie as offensive coordinator. He's a student of the game. As Bob mentioned, his father was a coach. And to have an opportunity to play behind Eric Zier, you know he's grasped a great deal. But this new style of offense had him a little off-center during the spring. He's really made waves just in the summer leading up to this opener. Let's go down to Bob Kessler.
Fans might have noticed something different when Robert just scored. The fact there is some markings in the end zone this year here at Sanford Stadium. For the first time in history, they've decided to put Georgia and Bulldogs in the end zones. In the past, Vince Dooley, the athletic director, and before that head coach, said he didn't want anything in the end zone. No markings. They've decided to spice things up a little bit, and Edwards has gotten in there twice.
Get any edge that you can, right, Bob? And the kick is a touchback taken by Deuce Staley, and South Carolina will open from their 20, suddenly down by 4 in what has been a track meet here in the second half. The scoring drive 131, 6 plays, 58 yards, a couple of big passes by Bobo to help lead the charge
And, of course, Edwards with some magnificent runs as well.
That's got to be the really exciting thing for Ray Goff, is that they've established a running game.
Tannehill brings up his troops. Look at those numbers. Borderline obscene. 311 yards already. Staley stopped. A loss of 7. Frank Watts, the bandit backer, defensive end in that 4-3 scheme, making the stop. You talk about the different glossary of these 4-3s, bandit, buck. That's all about defensive calls.
Yeah, it's all the side of the tight end. They have a tight tackle and they have a slot tackle. Bucks and bandits.
2nd and 17. Out of the shotgun, Tannehill, incomplete. Monty Means, the intended receiver.
Boy, for the first time, I don't see a comfortable Steve Tannehill, because he just doesn't look comfortable throwing that ball that last time. That's not that leader that we've seen before.
Georgia's defense against the rush. Look at that. SEC opponents rush for 61-plus yards more than their usual average. South Carolina with only 18 today. 3rd and 17. Play fake. Tannehill. Down he goes. Frank Watts again.
You'd think Watts was a running back. He's lining up in the backfield. He's been back there twice. Of course, he's number 58. Look at this. Right around the outside. Avoid him. And he's right in Tannehill's faces. Tannehill starts to step up. There's Watts.
The lead back, Jason Lawson, absolutely had no chance in blocking Frank Watts.
Boy, and Georgia's going to get great field position again.
That's the 3rd sack of the game for Watts. McCraney back deep. Jeff Coates' punt is a good one. Sends McCraney back to the 39. And he quickly steps out of bounds at the Georgia 45-yard line. Spend New Year's Day at the Outback Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Send a postcard with your name, address, and telephone number to the address on your screen and register to win a trip for 2, including game tickets, hotel, and airfare by Continental Airlines. The winner will be announced during the SEC Game of the Week, November 25th of this season. You must be 21 years of age or older to enter. 1:36 left in the 3rd quarter. Tim Brando, Dave Rowe, Bob Kessling. First of an entire fall's worth of Lee SEC Games of the Week, and it has been enjoyable. 3 down linemen now for South Carolina. Edwards. Robert Edwards. Down he goes with markers down. Face mask may be, in fact, the call. Mike Washington, the defensive tackle, wrapped him up. He's a senior out of Milledgeville, Georgia.
Yeah, when you get that face mask, that hand across the mask, it's the 5-yard penalty. When you use the mask to tackle him with, then it's the big one.
One of the great things about this rivalry through the years, and it was a rivalry long before South Carolina came into the SEC. Let's get the call now.
Face mask, incidental, 5 yards from the end of the run, 1st down.
They're bordering states, recruiting wars. You'll hear a number of players from Georgia on South Carolina's team and vice versa.
Let's see if we can see the face mask right there. See the hand on the face mask? He's not using it to tackle him, to pull him down, but he does have the hand on the face mask.
Ball is at the Carolina 47.
Big series here for South Carolina. They need to stop him, get the ball back to Tannehill, and get that confidence going.
1st and only 3 needed now for another 1st down for Georgia. Edwards. And that's another play for minus yardage. Really, the numbers on Edwards at the end of the day will be skewed because of the 6 losses he took on rushing plays. Mike Washington made the tackle.
Well, it's interesting, too, the change of defense by South Carolina. They're putting 3 down linemen and bringing one of the backers. Whichever side the play fake goes on, they're bringing that backer.
Back to Bob Kessling.
Ronnie Smith, of course, is number 51 of the linebackers for South Carolina. Grew up here in Athens. His dad worked in the Georgia Athletic Department dorm. So this is a very important day for him and a very important series for Carolina's defense.
2nd and 5, Edwards. Well, he stayed up nicely, didn't he? Took a couple of hits, managed to hang on. Seems to be very short of the 1st down. Benji Young in on that pile. It will be short of the first down, it would appear, by about a foot or more. You know, going back to Ronnie Smith and talking about that, his dad, Charlie, died this past spring at age 65, and he said that Ronnie said that this was the game he loved most. And as a youngster, he grew up loving Herschel Walker, and he worked here on campus and had a great love and affection for this rivalry. This was his favorite game of the year, Ronnie Smith's dad. It is a first down, so my eyes deceive me.
How could you not like Herschel Walker growing up as a kid in this town?
That's right. You know, kids now make decisions, though, based on life expectancy and what they'd like to do. They'd like to experience more things, and the opportunity arose to go to South Carolina. That's why Ronnie Smith is there in Columbia. Brad Scott's club is down 21-17, seeing a 10-point lead evaporate. Back with the fourth after this. What season ticket package to buy? Huh?
I'll tell you, I don't want to sit down there. He's standing on the railing on the bridge.
Oh, you get a great view from there. We open the fourth quarter, 21-17. Georgia in possession with a first down. Mike Bobo down the field for a wide open Hines Ward. South Carolina's secondary beginning to break down.
Yes, and they're not getting any pressure on Bobo. Before they were getting that penetration up in the middle, and now all of a sudden he's got time to sit back down there and let those wideouts use that great speed. Again, watch the pressure. Big guys up front locking up. Nobody's penetrating. See, standing back there, looking downfield, steps forward, beautiful pass.
They're just outside the 10. Edwards. Burrows to the 5. Edwards. Georgia can pick up a first down without benefit of a touchdown. Let's take a look at our Lee Apparel stats after 3 quarters. Noteworthy passing yardage for Georgia picking up, but more so Edwards on the ground. Look at that. They're dominant with ball control against South Carolina's running game, which has really been non-existent. They had 35 yards. South Carolina had 35 yards at halftime rushing. We thought that was bad. Now they've only got 8, so that means that they've lost 27 yards. 2nd and 3, just outside the South Carolina 5. Edwards, touchdown! Boy, they are blowing South Carolina's smallish defensive line off the ball in the second half.
Watch the seam in the middle. You're going to see a huge seam in the middle. Great end zone shot. All of a sudden, he cuts back against the grain. Look at the size. You could have run through that with me. That was a big hole.
The extra point is good from Parkman. 28-17 Georgia. Early fourth quarter between the hedges in Athens.
You talk about where the credit is due. Those big offensive linemen opening up that hole. You can see them just blowing them off the line of scrimmage.
Weeks, Taylor, Stark, Beatles, Meadows, all of them accountable. And Bobo showing how legally you can celebrate. Embrace a teammate. The kick from Parkland down to Terry Cousin way back into the end zone and a touchback. South Carolina 1st and 10 at their 20. It'll be very interesting to see how Tannehill appears in the opening moments of the forthcoming drive. 2:49 off the clock. The scoring drive, 6 plays, 55 yards. The big throw from Bobo to his wide receiver, Hines Ward, to set up the touchdown for Robert Edwards.
You know, Tim, you talk about quarterbacks, and quarterbacks getting hot spots. Now, Tannehill's been hot the whole game, but that last series, he just didn't look well.
Out of the shotgun. Tannehill steps up. Complete. Monty Means hangs on at the 40-yard line, and he took a vicious hit. Buster Owens laid the leather first. He got plenty of help. There are the numbers on Tannehill. An amazing performance for him today.
Now this is a strike. Now he's back to the old Steve Tannehill. Step up, deliver that strike. And look at Means get that hand down around that ball. That's tough to hold on that ball when you're getting it ripped out and you take that quick shot.
1st and 10. Pritchett out to the 42-yard line. Out of that shotgun formation, they've play faked off of that and used Pritchett as a receiver. This time Pritchett takes the ball, and Mike is pretty happy on the Georgia sideline.
Well, I don't think he's going to make him forget about Eric Sire. But if he can run his offense like that and mix up the pass and the run play and be successful with both, he's got a great year ahead of him.
Bobo, a sophomore out of Thomasville, Georgia. Tannehill dropped by Smart. His 3rd quarterback sack. The free safety coming with everything.
That was going to be that underneath shuffle pass, and the back got, watch the action of the quarterback. He's going to flip it underhand. See right there? And whoop, he's not there.
4 sacks for the Georgia defense today.
Now, the last time Georgia hit Tannehill like that, he got mad and drove him 80 yards.
3rd down, 15. Tannehill intercepted. Ronald Bailey.
You can't play a ball any better than that. When Bailey is dropping back, he's reading quarterback's eyes, and watch him just step in front, right in front of the wide receiver, and now get as much yardage as you can. Pick up a couple blocks and get downfield. Watch him step right in front. Great plan. He just read the quarterback's eyes.
1st and 10, Georgia. After the first turnover of the game for South Carolina. Edwards lost it, managed to get on top of it. He has been stripped a few times today. There's no question that even though he's been very effective, Robert Edwards in this next week's worth of practice will be working on holding on to the football.
Well, you can't have a ball ripped out of your hands like this. You've got to squeeze it. You see the ball come out right there? He's fortunate to fall right back down on it. But that little one-arm strip, you've got to be able to break through that.
There you see his numbers, 111 yards. Just under 4 yards per rush, and he's been caught 6 times for losses today. Otherwise, he'd have even bigger stats. Bobo with time. Edwards. 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 Touchdown. Bobo to Robert Edwards.
Jim, the first person that Edwards ought to go over and say thanks to is Hines Ward. What a block he threw. You're going to see a block by a wide receiver that just springs them. Watch the crossing pattern. A lot of time. Dump it to him right out here. Now he crosses field. See if we can pick up Hines Ward, number 19 on the block. It was an incredible block. Well, there's Bobo running after him.
28 points unanswered for Georgia after falling behind 17-7 in the early moments of the 3rd. 35-17. Robert Edwards showcased in this new look balanced attack of the Georgia Bulldogs offensively. And the Bulldog defense playing with added fervor in the second half to overtake a 17-7 deficit here in this second half. Here's that Hines Ward block you were talking about.
Watch at the top of your screen. You're going to see it in a second. This is a wide receiver. Look at that. That's a decleater. That's when you can see both the bottoms of the shoes, but what a block.
Hines Ward, a regular flying Walinda block to enable Robert Edwards the opportunity to get into the end zone. 11:15 remaining. And the Dogs defense can pin their ears back and come after Tannehill, who you know has got to put it up. Swing pattern to Pritchett. Stanley Pritchett, who did have some rib problems early in the game, and I'm beginning to wonder now if that has affected his game, because he has been stopped in a big way by this Georgia defense. At last count, he only had 18 yards rushing on 11 carries. There you see the scoring drive. 2 plays. Edwards, the touchdown off the little dump pass. Out pattern incomplete. The pass was intended for Calvin Owens, the flanker.
Tim, we talked earlier about taking advantage. Boy, has Georgia taken advantage of field position. They've scored every time they've gotten the ball in this half.
Next week's game, another pivotal matchup early in the season in the SEC. The LSU Tigers against Mississippi State. 3rd and 6. Tannehill. Boy, that is an off-balance throw that just does not fit with what we've seen with Steve today. Now, I'm beginning to wonder if he's not a little woozy. He's certainly been on his heels the last couple of drives since the intensity of this game and momentum went to Georgia's side.
It really has. He just doesn't look like the same quarterback. I know he's a tremendous competitor, and you have to give him a lot of credit, but he just doesn't look sharp in those last 2 or 3 series. He's completed 1 or 2 passes, but just doesn't look sharp. Not like he did in the first half of the football game.
Derwin Jeffcoat to punt, gets it off at his 15. A high short punt. McCraney will allow it to bounce, and it does get a South Carolina roll. Very little he could do with that one. So it is a healthy punt of 38 yards, most of that on roll, and the Bulldogs take over from their 35. 1st and 10, just over 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Well, you talk about fans. We've got fans here today. South Carolina, I think, brought 11,000 fans with them. Of course, Georgia never lets this stadium get unfilled.
Oh, you're right. And coming into this game, you see they're awfully quiet now, but you know they're always there.
Yes, they are. I got to tell you, I was up in the press box. I saw Tommy Novus walked up.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Lost a lot of weight.
Another tremendous running play. Torin Kirksey. This is a young guy that's gotten a lot of ink coming out of high school. They have high prospects for him in the future.
This is a good burst through the line. That's what you want to do. Get that ball, burst through the line, find that little seam, get outside if you can. When you're that size, you want to get outside quick. Again, right now, Georgia wants to play that type of ball where you just control it, use the clock, eat it up. You've got an 18-point lead.
There he goes again, off the right side. They're picking up 6 and 7 at a chunk. Kirksey, celebrated freshman out of Jacksonville. Ronnie Smith made the tackle. And the point we made at the outset of this game, Dave, bears mentioning again. This is a smallish defensive line. Georgia's feeling was we'll pound them, and then in the second half they'll be ours. And to this point, that statement has been prophetic.
Yes, they have. Their big offensive linemen are controlling the defensive line. South Carolina's gone to a 3-down lineman and using backers to blitz up through, trying to fill holes.
Marker down, Kirksey to the 33-yard line of South Carolina.
And when you start blitzing those backers to fill the hole, this is going to be a holding call.
Holding, offense, be 10 yards from small foul, 2nd down.
But what you do is you give the ball deep to your back. See everybody man on man. Now just turn them, and then you allow the back to see that visioning, make the cuts through the hole.
Well, did you see that job done on Henry Taylor? I mean, now that is the most talented guy, and he was not being double teamed that time. No, he was absolutely turned, and that enabled Kirksey the hole. Now, there was a holding violation that will put Georgia back into their own territory at the 48.
Yeah, that was David Weeks, the big center, 6'6", 270 pounds. He's a senior. He's got a lot of experience.
2nd and 12. Incomplete into double coverage. Pass was intended for Juan Daniels, who's slow to get up.
Now, if you're Ray Goff on the sideline, what you're saying is don't make any mistakes. Don't throw an interception. Don't force the ball where it doesn't belong. We'll take the 3 downs and out.
Let's go down to Bob Kessling, who has more on the health of Steve Tannehill.
Tim, we checked with the South Carolina bench. They say there's nothing physically wrong with Steve Tannehill. Perhaps it's just the Georgia defense. He has been confused coming off the field. In fact, he's had a couple of conversations with John Eason, the offensive coordinator in South Carolina, just trying to figure out where his receivers are.
Bobo deep for McCraney. Incomplete. He had gotten beyond Jeff Kilgore, the cornerback. Bobo overthrowing him just a bit on that occasion. Well, you know, that'll make you look tentative, almost make you appear as if you're not at 100% physically, when mentally you're being thrown a lot.
Absolutely, and you know, you really have to give credit to the coaches. They've made adjustments at halftime. Georgia coaches have adjusted their defense to confuse Tannehill.
Nick Lowe back deep. Dax Langlow gets it away from his 37. He's done an excellent job today, helping give Georgia field position and a field position advantage, which they'll have again. South Carolina will be forced to start inside their 20 at the 15. 35-17. What a dramatic turn. Georgia, with the score tied at 7, had an opportunity to take the lead. Robert Edwards fumbled into the end zone. Then the Gamecocks, with no timeouts remaining, had a touchdown pass, the second of the game, from Tannehill to Zola Davis to take a 14-7 lead on the final play of the first half. Then got a field goal off a 78-yard drive to open the third, but since then the Dogs have been in control. First down 10. Pritchett, who's been unable to break free today, gets about 6 on that carry. Whit Marshall made the stop. Start talking about the Dogs when they do play well on the defensive end, something that had been a shortcoming coming into this season, but they are 20 straight when holding the opposition under 19 points.
But how many people would have thought they would have held them under 19 points at halftime?
Pritchett again. Lumbers for a first down, it would appear, to the 25-yard line.
Now this is interesting. I mean, I know they're moving to change. They got a first down, but they're 18 points down. This is not prime Steve Tannehill. I'm used to seeing him wing that ball downfield, attack the offense. I mean, I should say attack the defense with his offense.
Travis Stroud made the tackle, the sophomore out of Atlanta Dunwoody. 7:50 and counting. Toss sweep to Pritchett. Has a load in front of him. And look at the lateral pursuit of this Georgia defense. Godfrey leading the charge, to no one's surprise. Got some help from Armin Love. Armin Love went to the same high school, actually not the same high school, but was coached by the same man that had Terry Hogue, was an outstanding All-American here at Georgia some time ago with Vince Dooley's Dogs.
Yeah, they've got a picture of him up here, and the quote underneath there by Vince Dooley is, "That's the greatest football player I ever saw." Yeah. That's quite an accolade.
Yeah, Terry Hogue is out of Huntsville, and Armin Love out of MacArthur High in Houston, Texas. Nearly picked off. Philip Daniels had a shot at it. The senior out of Donaldsonville got that big mid up there to knock it down.
Again, playing the eyes of a quarterback. He's just dropping a little zone out here in the flat. Just sticks up his hand and almost picks one off.
Intended for James Cummings, the tight end. Only 5 for 14 in third down conversions. 6 defensive backs in for Georgia. Monty Means has it up to the 40-yard line. Still dragging Bulldogs with him. Kirby Smart finally hauls him down.
Now that's the kind of pass you want. Little curl pattern, bring him down about 12 to 15 yards and throw a bullet to him. That's the attacking Steve Tannehill that we're used to.
13 yards the pickup. Don't think Brad Scott doesn't have a little something up that short sleeve of his.
Well, one of the things interesting, weather's really not a factor. It's a cool day compared to the summer that these guys have had. They had an incredible summer of training.
Another blitz for Tannehill, but they pick it up. And it is complete at midfield. Zola Davis, the favorite target of Tannehill today with 2 touchdown receptions, brings that one in for an 8-yard gain. Let's go down to Bob Kessling. Bob?
You know, you talk about this Georgia defense. They've taken a much more serious attitude toward this game. Like Randall Godfrey, you see, now he's the leader of this Georgia defense. He said in the past he really didn't spend much time watching films, and really if he was nicked and bruised, he'd lay out a practice. He didn't miss the practice all year, and he said the other night on Wednesday, he woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning, couldn't sleep, started watching films. They're much more serious defensively.
Pass is complete to the 45-yard line. Buster Owens hauling down Corey Bridges. You know, you can make a great case in point, and this is in no way to be critical of Marion Campbell, an outstanding coach for many, many years at both the collegiate and the professional level. But the read and react defense was more of a bend but don't break NFL type of defense. Joe Kynes is coming here to instill a college rah-rah atmosphere and take a team that was businesslike in its approach and make them enthusiastic, more of the collegiate style.
He loves that enthusiasm by his kids. He loves them to play full go all the time. Don't hold back.
Tannehill sacked again, the 6th of the game.
Boy, great coverage there by the deep secondary. Tannehill, as he drops back here, now watch the time he has. Right there. Now he's getting ready to pass. Now step up. There's nobody open. Step up. Now the big men are in your face.
Kirby Smart was coming again.
That's Jason Ferguson at 92.
Yeah, Jason Ferguson, who came into camp this year at 330 pounds. But he told Joe Kynes, he said, this is all I got, Coach. I want to play hard and win for you. That's what they're doing now. Little dump pass to Pritchett. Pritchett free inside the Georgia 30 to the 27-yard line for a first down.
Boy, and as successful as Tannehill has been with that play, he might ought to try that a lot more. That's the one he dumped earlier on. Again, this is the one where he scrambles out, fakes here, comes out. Now watch, he just has to throw a little soft pass. He finds Pritchett right there. Now Pritchett, bring down that ball, pick up as much yardage as you can. And you're looking at somebody who was hurt in the first half, those ribs.
We have an injured Gamecock. It appears to be Pritchett.
Yeah, and it looks like they're pulling up the shirts for those same sore ribs that he had in the first half.
I got to believe that had some impact on the lack of production in their running game and for Pritchett individually in the first half of play. Really, his big plays this afternoon have come on that particular design safety valve screen pass and the delay crossing patterns that we've seen, not as much as a running back.
Oh, he's a big back, 6'1", 244.
First down 10. Brad Scott's team now mounting a charge with the ball at the Georgia 27. Tannehill into a blitz, deep for Means, just beyond his outreached arms. Armin Love was there to cover, but Tannehill throwing right into the face of free safety Kirby Smart, who was pressuring him.
He had pressure right down his throat. He had to throw this ball long before his receiver cut. Right there.
He'll be seeing Kirby Smart in his dreams. They have 6 sacks today, and Kirby's due for half of those sacks. He has 3 of them. 2nd and 10. Incomplete. You know, that play is there. Deuce Staley doesn't come up with it, and Steve appeared a bit panicky in delivering that ball.
Well, he did. It's supposed to be that little swing pass that he run the coverage deep and try to throw underneath out in the flat and let him get one-on-one. But he just is not throwing the ball. Not like he did in the first half. He was almost perfect.
Well, when you're down by 17 and you look up and you see that clock in about 5 minutes,
down, yep,
it changes things. 3rd down 10. Changing the play. You see Smart coming. They pick it up. Means again. It was there. This time it's good. Touchdown. There's some composure. Go right back to a play that had been there, and they picked up the blitzing free safety. He had one-on-one coverage.
That was the whole difference, is that they picked up that blitzing free safety. Smart. You see 16 come in, they pick him up. Now he's got that out pattern. Now he can take another second. What a perfect pass, right on the fingertips. No chance of an interception. Just let him reach out there. I'll tell you one thing now, with Steve Tannehill, you never say never. I'm sure these Georgia fans are turning back saying, You don't forget 2 years ago, and they're saying, well, I know we got a 12-point lead here. They're going for 1. That'll be 11-point lead, but wait a minute now.
That one's blocked. Keith Drayton got a hand on it. And that makes the score 35-23. But Steve Tannehill and Brad Scott still have time with which to work. And in their last 7 home openers, Georgia is a paltry 2-5. I'm sure the fans haven't forgotten that either. We'll be back.
First, I figured I'd forgotten where I'd parked. And then I knew. I called my husband, the police, and Ken, my nationwide insurance agent.
Willie was upset. You don't get your car stolen every day.
2 days later, my car showed up.
Broken windows, scratches. I mean, nothing major.
It wasn't a pretty sight, but the check sure was. Ken got it to me the next day.
Helping someone, it's a good feeling. That's why I'm a nationwide agent.
Nationwide is on your side.
Introducing Lee Authentic Clothing. New cottons, denims, and colors for men and women. Lee Authentic Clothing. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, I'm working on a pretty big project. And I don't have a lot of money to spend. I mean, I want a really good price.
That's our pinpoint pricing.
At True Value, we've lowered the prices on over 900 items. So no matter what your project needs, you'll find it at just the right price every day.
Hey, it's true. Help is just around the corner.
This is the warming bin. The fresh burgers go back there, and you always sell the old ones from down here. Any question?
When do we sell the fresh burgers?
You're not listening.
At Sonic, you never get a warmed-over burger because we make everything fresh when you order it. Like our Burger and Ring Special for $1.99. A famous Sonic burger and Sonic's made-from-scratch onion rings, just $1.99 this month only.
Sonic, driving for a change.
There you see the chapel bells, which no doubt will be ringing if, in fact, Georgia can cling to this 12-point lead. They've been ringing them for many, many years. They'd like to ring them again. By the way, freshmen are allowed to ring those bells. It's a pooch kick. And it's loose. South Carolina may have it.
But they may be offsides.
Markers are down.
South Carolina, if they're offsides, they're going to kick themselves.
Oh, yeah. Steve Florio with a nice job of a pooch kick. With time running down, now you see Ray Goff, he's right in the middle of this with the officiating crew to make certain about that marker. The good hands people were out there for Georgia. Now they're saying that a fair catch had been signaled for and he may have been hit.
So it could be a double foul.
Yeah.
We have offside against the kicking team, interference against the kicking team with the opportunity to make a fair catch.
Right.
The ball would belong to the white. The red team will take the penalty. It'll be 5 yards and re-kick.
So they will re-kick. Boy, Tannehill having an unbelievable game. Here's the fair catch and the hit. So they're guilty twice here.
Now watch the hand go up. See right? Guess that's what they call it. The hand went up there.
I tell you.
Now he may have been yelling fair catch, fair catch.
Steve Tannehill, his career high, in case you were wondering, 451 yards against East Carolina. This is his second 400-plus yard game in his career, and he has an opportunity to have that career high if he can get the ball back. He has 3 touchdowns today, 2 to Davis and 1 to Means, and the 1 interception. And that 1 turnover looms largely in this game. It would be a 1-touchdown game were it not for that pick by Bailey earlier in this period. So Florio will tee it up again from the 30-yard line. That was a very smart play by Kirby Smart to call
fair catch
for the fair catch as he was actually falling down.
Now what I think you do in this situation is kick it deep. You're on the 30-yard line. If you don't recover it, I just think you kick it deep.
Fair catch again. Georgia well schooled on this. Corey Johnson comes down with it at the 33-yard line. We touched on the importance of this game week 1 for Ray Goff and for this program for a number of reasons. They have to go to Neyland Stadium and play Tennessee next week. Then at Ole Miss, Alabama comes a-calling on the 30th, but it does continue. Non-conference Clemson, that's a rivalry game. Then Florida here, Auburn here. That will spell just how big a season it may or may not be for this Georgia team. 4 top 10 teams that they have an opportunity of playing. And the real big ones, other than Tennessee, will be played between the hedges in Athens. Timeout, Georgia. Mike Bobo with a very good game, both halves, picking it up in the second half. And much of his passing yards in the second half, I think, are due to the running game provided him by Robert Edwards.
By the way, what you think of that big guy that came down and visited me? Was he big?
He was a big guy.
Well, the one guy's Tim Cavender. He was All-American at Ball Ground, Georgia. He doesn't. He never even played football. But the big guy was Mike McCoy, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
And one of my teammates, he and his wife Kia live here, and he just came down to say hello. That was really great.
Yeah, it is. Well, some of the things that you see on the SEC tour.
And now Cavender, he couldn't carry a ball if he needed it. He's just a good old member service guy at a local co-op. Boy, what a marvelous game it's been to start the season. Yeah, our season's like this all week, all year, buddy. We're going to have some games.
I'll tell you, the first 3 games on our schedule will have the kind of impetus that will echo throughout the remainder of the year. LSU coming off A&M, which they're playing later today, against Mississippi State. Steve Tannehill still optimistic, talking there with Monty Means. And then in 2 weeks, we're at Alabama for Arkansas. And Alabama is a mystery team this year, and Danny Ford believes his team has turned the corner with Joe Lee Dunn as his defensive coordinator. Kirksey, the freshman running back, stopped for no gain. Hank Campbell making the tackle, the inside backer. It's one of the great things about this league. You have rivalry games each week, and the fans and alumni really believe they have a chance to win the whole thing unless they lose a game. So those early games are very important, much more so than in any other sport, any other team sport I can think of.
Oh boy, there's so many good games.
Second down and 11. Ball at the 32.
You see Mike Bobo looking at that clock. It gets down to 3, 2, snaps the ball.
Kirksey. You can tell why they love this freshman out of Jacksonville. Up near a first down at the 42-yard line of Georgia. Chris Abrams, the free safety, made the tackle.
Well, one of the things I like about Kirksey is that he has that vision in the hole. It's awfully hard. You can't coach this. What you do is say, keep your eyes open right there. There's no hole. Now it's back to the backside. Get those feet down. Look at it. Protect the ball. Those are all things that you try to coach. But a lot of running backs go into the hole and they just have their eyes closed.
Juan Daniels with his leg wrapped, chilling along the sidelines. You see they're just short of the necessary yardage for first down. I love this kid Kirksey. I mean, 5 carries for 32 yards. They were hoping he could get a few snaps today, but frankly didn't know if this game was a wire game, and it still may be. I mean, 3:29 left.
That's a long time when you have a Steve Tannehill on the other side.
Yeah, but Edwards a little winded, and deservedly so, getting a breather. And Kirksey into the game. Setback split, McCraney in motion. Here he is, he's back in. Edwards is back in. And there he goes. Touchdown. So much for a breather.
There's no breather in that young man. Boy, we talk about speed. He has got speed.
Hey, I know he's not a freshman, but this is his debut at a new position. And I recall in Herschel's freshman year at Tennessee, not celebrated. You see the 5 touchdowns today? That's a new Georgia record.
He went into Knoxville. No one knew that much about Walker. Came in, all of a sudden, you heard Larry Munson yelling, Herschel, Herschel, Herschel. Well, I'm sure Larry is churning that gravelly voice in the direction of Edwards, a junior of influence, making the move from defense to offense in a very big way.
Watch how quickly he gets through the hole. Gets a good block right there. Now, bang. Now watch, you're not going to pull him down from behind. Again, gets those feet back up, and now they're almost even, right? He's got 4.27 speed, and he just stays ahead of that defensive back.
Well, they'll be playing that film very quickly in Knoxville in preparation for next week's game.
It looked like he was going to face the crowd and celebrate, but I think he might have been so tired he couldn't turn around.
And you notice how quickly his teammate came to grab him.
That's right, grab him and pull him back in the huddle.
Well schooled on new classroom etiquette in the end zone. Let's take a look at our Miller Lite players of the game. There's one of them, Robert Edwards, 169 yards, 5 touchdowns on 30 carries. Steve Tannehill, almost a career day. In fact, he could get it if he eclipses 451 yards, 3 touchdowns and 1 pick.
Well, Tim, it's so hard to make a transition from a passing team to a running team. And they've ridden the arm of Eric Zier for the last 3 years. I mean, my goodness, you couldn't ask him to be a better offense. Now all of a sudden those big linemen are asked to be running blockers, and they've done a job today.
Terry Cousins bringing it out. Tripped up beyond the 30-yard line at the 33. Cannon Parkman made the tackle. Anthony Wright will be the new quarterback. Highly sought after freshman. He's a redshirt out of Vanceboro, North Carolina, West Craven High School. Coming into the game. By the way, going back to Edwards for a moment, he is on track as a junior to get his degree in consumer economics. He's made this Georgia offense much more productive, if not economical. I mean, they have been much more productive in both areas, the run game and the passing game.
Well, you talk about 2 different games. The first half of this game compared to the second half is incredible.
Mike Reddick, number 25, carrying it for the first time. He's up to the 36-yard line as the clock continues to run. 2 minutes 40 seconds. 58-yard jaunt for Edwards to culminate that 67-yard drive. Well, you're right. What a difference. And I really believe the Georgia defense, after the touchdown drive to make it 17-14, they were charged up, had Tannehill on his heels. He had 1 bad series, and Georgia took control of this game.
They certainly did. They turned the entire complexion of the football game around.
Right, pressured by Watts. Now he's up to the 49-yard line before being hauled down. Jason Ferguson finally running him down, number 92.
And I can promise you, in the Georgia locker room at halftime, we heard what Ray Goff said. We have got to put plays together. We're having to run 2 plays and then 1 bad, 2 plays and 1 bad. So they tried to get consistency, and whatever he said at halftime, it worked, because they have come out and played a marvelous second half of football. You just don't even think it's the same team.
First down, 10, South Carolina. Play fake. Over the middle and caught. At the 37-yard line, Marcus Robinson, number 88, on the receiving end, a 13-yard reception.
And I will tell you this, South Carolina will rise up again, believe me. With the arm of Steve Tannehill, they will be a force in the SEC this year.
Timeout called by Georgia defensively, as some of the second teamers are in there. And Joe Kynes wants to chat about it. Still working, still coaching. South Carolina, a team coming off a 6-5 regular year under Brad Scott in his first season, will play Louisiana Tech. Joe Raymond Peace's team, not that bad. That's a non-conference game after playing at Arkansas next week. Then Kentucky. That's a game you'll see on Jefferson Pilot Sports on September 23rd. Then LSU. 2 improved teams in the West and East meeting there. Then a non-conference tilt with Kent. Florida coming up on November 11th will be a matchup of Air Brigades, and then Clemson on the 18th to close it out in a rivalry game.
Let's go down to Bob Kessling. Bob?
Till they talk about Robert Edwards, he might be the best athlete on this Georgia team. So, of course, if you're the defensive coordinator, you want him to play quarterback for you. So we asked Joe Kynes yesterday, what about it when they started talking about moving him over to offense? He said, I had no problems with it whatsoever. It was the best thing for the team. And today, Robert Edwards has been the best thing for the Georgia Bulldogs.
I'll echo that sentiment. Marker's down, and Anthony Wright hits the deck as well. The first to get to him, Travis Stroud, number 66, sophomore from Dunwoody High School in Atlanta. Let's check the flag.
I was going to ask you, didn't Joe Kynes tell you about selling his house? I thought that was great about the jacket. Yeah. The jacket was the great one.
It was. I have to tell this story on Joe Kynes. We asked him about, no matter how difficult the situation for Ray Goff, for Joe Kynes coming into Georgia, it couldn't be as difficult from a PR standpoint.
10 yards from the spot, second down.
As the position he was in at Arkansas as an interim coach with Danny Ford marching in to help out, with the knowledge that Frank Broyles had intent to perhaps hire him over Joe as head coach. He said, yeah, well, those moving companies, they have contracts out on us. They know when to call us. He said, we sold the house very quickly, and there was an Arkansas jacket in there. Guy wanted to know when he bought the house if I could keep the jacket. He said, yeah, comes with the house.
That jacket goes with the house.
That's a delay handoff up the middle to Mike Reddick. And the scat back into Georgia territory at the 48-yard line.
I have to tell you, it was really a joy for me to meet with both coaching staffs. They're fun to talk to. I mean, you talk about open. His staff was just incredible. They were there just having a good time. We just had a real open conversation.
Yeah, these two programs are proof that good guys can finish first. I set behind Wright. On 2nd and 16. Trouble, fumble. Recovered by Georgia. Philip Daniels with the recovery. And Derek Smith caused it. The bandit end.
Yeah, Derek Smith just came in there and just swatted the ball out of his hands.
A very important win for Ray Goff and this Georgia program, which has taken its share of licks.
Well, especially when they go to face Tennessee next.
Absolutely. Brian Smith has come into the game for a snap at quarterback, number 11. He's a junior out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, so you know he wants his chance against South Carolina, at least for a play. Handoff goes to Larry Bowie. That should do it. Well, Coach, you don't have to worry about the alumni being split down the middle on your future today. Ray Goff buys another week of good public relations with today's 42-23 come-from-behind second-half victory over the South Carolina Gamecocks. He and Brad Scott getting together at midfield. You know, this score certainly not indicative of the way the game went. It was certainly exciting from stem to stern.
You would never have thought this score was going to be present at the end of the game at halftime. At halftime, South Carolina was in charge. They had Georgia reeling. It was just an amazing turnaround.
Let's go down to Bob Kessling.
Terrific second half for your team, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, I'm proud of our guys, Bob. You know, we go in at halftime. They hit one the last play and come out and take the ball, and they're driving it down the field. To go ahead even more. And our kids bowed their neck and came back and really played a fine second half, Bob. I couldn't ask them to do more than they did today.
The move of Robert Edwards, the tailback, paid off, didn't it?
Well, I'm sure I'm going to get asked now, why didn't you do it 2 years ago? So he's a good football player. You got to quit turning. You got to quit fumbling. If he doesn't turn, we don't fumble down there on the end zone. Hopefully we could have scored more points.
Congratulations, Ray.
Thank you, Bob.
Big win for the Bulldogs today, Tim.
You bet. A proud moment indeed for Ray Goff, who now realizes he can see the forest for the trees and these rolling pines. We'll be back.